This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Hard-Traveling Fanboys.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special experimental edition of the longest-running weekly episodic comic book podcast in all Place to Be Nation.
And see, people in the room, they actually can see the Big E pelvic thrust with that one, which I always do, you know.
Yes, so we are coming to you from the Duke compound this week. We are not in the HTF L-shaped studios. We are in the Duke compound, as I just mentioned. Those delays are caused because we're attempting to play a video game here. So,
yeah.
The voices you heard in the background, the chorus, if you will, are other Place to Be Nation personalities. Because this week, Nick and I are bringing you an edition, a very special edition of Off the Page.
Indeed we are.
And in this case, we are kicking off Avengers Month.
Actually, this is the second week of
Avengers Month.
This is going to be fun the entire time.
Here
it's a double kick.
The HTF. And as you guys know, Avengers Month is a month dedicated to Earth's mightiest heroes, Los Avengers. So, what we're doing here... Hey, quit hitting me. What we're doing here is we are reviewing a video game is what they're called. Those things that people play. And this is Marvel Ultimate Alliance from the year, Nick?
2006, I think. Clearly, I was well prepared because I should have looked that up, and I didn't. So I'm going to guess 2006 because I think part of the reason we're doing this, Greg, as we'll discuss, I'm kind of dating that based on like Arsenal experience was the game, which I know kicked off in 2006 because I think that was part of your inspiration for wanting to do this, right?
Sure.
Because originally, I think off the page this month we were going to do one of the animated Ultimate Avengers movies, which I like a lot. You know.
And Russell's controller has plugged or something, or isn't working for some reason. But yes, so I should mention our guests here. So for this, we thought it would be fun. We are all gathered as we record to watch the movie Avengers Endgame. And we're at the Duke compound, joined by, playing the game with us today, will be Russell Sellers.
That's me.
And David Sunday.
That is me.
Both of whom you can find right here at Place to Be Nation. And helping us out as a special assistant producer tonight is one Andrew Chandler Fraser Garner.
Hi,
And
how you doing?
so Ultimate Alliance is a game that came out when we were all in college. And
when some of us were in college.
Ahem.
Yes, October 2006.
And-
It's released it.
October 2006. And was a game that we all took a lot of joy in playing. We would gather and play this through all hours of the night. It was really unique for the time because it was actually the sequel, sort of a sequel, to X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2, which kind of kicked off this style of superhero game. And dadgummit, I forgot how to jump.
Why?
It's Y, the top button.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing this on Xbox 360.
Yeah, the original release.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm literally using him as a human weapon. Look at this. I'm still
It's
carrying
pretty
him.
freaking awesome.
Okay,
All right,
so
Hulk proves to be cool, finally.
Oh, well, Russell, he's wearing his Joe Fix-It outfit. How can he not be cool?
I mean, this is a fair point.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the video game Ultimate Alliance came out when we were in college. It was kind of an action RPG, which is sort of a style that X-Men Legends had started. Really, I would argue that the Ultimate Alliance series 1 and 2 really perfected this. No knock on X-Men Legends. It was great for its time. But these games, I can tell you, hold up better than the X-Men Legends games do from my replaying experience. So we thought, why not revisit this more than a decade later and see how this holds up and what our enjoyment of it is like compared to what it was when we were in college and we had not experienced things like Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, any Arkham game, essentially. And also other comic book games that have been good. Spider-Man, certainly.
Spider-Man, yeah. PS4 Spider-Man's great.
And then,
You know.
N64 Superman.
Well,
They can't all be winners, right?
It does. Like, you shouldn't even make a comparison because it's so different. But the Scribblenauts Unmasked DC game they did for 3DS was actually a lot of fun, but is almost just like a different thing unto itself, where you kind of could call in all these DC characters to help you in like kind of these puzzle-based situations.
Ooh, and now we are running across our first boss fight of sorts here on the game, and it is against the Scorpion, the legendary Spider-Man villain. And, we're pretty well kicking his ass, it looks like. He's not really doing anything.
Blocking.
He's just covering up.
Yeah.
Rope-a-dope,
Rope-a-dope.
perhaps.
We're about to get knocked out like Foreman in the
No,
News.
we just whooped his ass.
Never mind. We Mike Tyson'd his ass.
I got him one there at the end.
Yep.
He's done.
Wolverine with that classic Wolverine catchphrase, "Come on, team." Oh, we have defeated the Scorpion sting here. But, so what are your guys' memories of when this game came out, is the word I'm looking for?
I would say the hours upon hours that we spent playing this just late at night.
Yeah.
Because there was... I mean, for us, it was like, hey, do you guys want to go out and like actually have fun and socialize with people? No,
we're good.
No, we've got a game to play here.
Yeah, be all right.
Fine like
Like this, yeah.
Fun like this. By God, we just sat around and played this video game for hours and hours and hours, and we did not feel like we missed a thing.
And we probably didn't,
We
in
didn't.
all honesty.
Dave, you were in the midst of grad school at this time, so you didn't get to play this one as much as you did with... I know you played X-Men Legends a couple times. Do you have any memories of this game at all? Or
Not really. I mean, I watched y'all play it a little bit, and I think that's about it. I don't think I played.
There was a lot in those days of coming over to my house and watching us play video games that people did. Whether it's Slayton mode, I don't think I need to tell the name on the SmackDown versus Raw games, or me and Jeremy with Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of that going on. At
You
the
guys
time.
used to have some epic Fight Night
Dude. Yeah.
drops in that time. I sucked at Fight Night, but it was fun to watch you guys play.
Dynasty Warriors was fun, though.
Yeah, Dynasty
it was.
Warriors.
We're blowing through the dialogue here, people, because we
don't care.
We don't really care, and we're trying to like remember how to play still.
Yeah.
So basically, these games put you in control of a collection of Marvel heroes. In all, that's me.
Yeah. No, that's David.
No. In all honesty, these games they start you off with a certain number of characters to pick from, and you have to earn characters as you go along. We started with Nick's save file, which gives us access to all of the unlockable characters in the game. So we've got a full roster of Marvel heroes at our disposal. God, this dialogue. I don't remember this
You
happening
did, but
at
you
all.
can't even talk to him again. Button. So go to Thank You, Colonel Fury, and we'll move on.
Yeah, at the very bottom. So the...
Just say yes, and we'll move on.
we'll move along. It's kind of an interesting situation here as these games give you a full supply of Marvel heroes to choose from. And in this case, we've assembled a team where I am the Hulk in his Joe Fix-It outfit. Russell is brown and tan, John Byrne suit Wolverine.
The best Wolverine.
David, Ultimate Iron Man because of a power-up that he gets. And then who else is left? Nick is, of course, the Mighty Thor, his favorite Marvel character. So
Yeah, it's Spider-Man.
I always thought you liked Thor more than Spider-Man. No. So
Thor is like the Green Lantern to my Batman, or to Spider-Man's Batman.
I gotcha. In any event, we're playing this action RPG thing. So you have abilities here. Each character has his own kind of unique abilities that he can do. Like the Hulk can pick up guys apparently and use them as human weapons, just slinging them around. Thor can shoot lightning with his hammer and throw his hammer. Wolverine has a healing factor, and also has, of course, his razor-sharp claws. Iron Man's repulsor rays from his chest and his hands. So, and I don't know if they have the team abilities on here or not.
They do. There are team boosts on here because you can even create your own team and add members to your roster and like kind of edit, pick and choose the boosts you want. Like use team experience points to boost your team in addition to your
push pull.
to your personal roster.
Yeah. So there I see. Yeah. So, but what I meant was like I think it's Ultimate Alliance 2 introduced the ability to kind of like combine your powers with another character. And, you could have like Iron Man and Cap do their thing where the shield reflects the repulsor ray and all that stuff. But, oh, I see. Yeah. Makes sense. Hey. So we've spent a lot of hours in this. Nick, what are your memories of playing this in good old college?
I actually remember,
I replace it with that one.
Yeah, this goes back to the early days of our friendship, because I remember you and I had kind of met independently of each other through office and the J-Lab and that kind of stuff. And right now I'm trying to crush you with a giant generator because you won't move out of the way. But
which is also true of our college experience.
Which is also true of our college experience. And you know me being me, I wasn't very social during that first year of college for the most part. And yet I had met this other person independently of you in one of my PR classes. Yes, I was taking PR classes for some stupid reason.
Yeah, no way that helped.
Yeah, it didn't. And so I developed this other kind of friend, like, independently. And so, like, I remember you called me, and I was just hanging out in my dorm room, and you were like, hey, you don't by any chance like that video game Ultimate Alliance? And I was like, yeah, I love it. I have a copy. I think I had mine for the Wii way back then. And so you invited me over to play, and when I got there, surprise, shock of shocks, you and Jeremy Reynolds actually lived together. And so, this other person that I had met independently of you wound up, you guys were roommates, and we sat there and played this. I remember we did this a lot of weekends, especially my freshman year, whenever we could get a chance. And that was kind of, as I recall, it led to our discovery that video games were a good way to get certain individuals out of the room.
Yes.
And so, really, the trick from there was just figuring out which one would get Jeremy out of the room. Once we figured that out, the legendary GM mode sessions were born.
Yes. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah.
But, the interesting thing is, unlike now, years ago, we actually cared about these game stories and would follow the dialogue and make controversial choices along the way.
That's one thing. The story of this game is actually really good. We're not really
not giving it the proper due.
It kind of involves the Masters of Evil and a plot by Dr. Doom to usurp the powers of Odin for the purposes of conquering the Earth. And it's a really cool story that has some twists and turns along the way. I remember some cinematics near the end where they call in characters who aren't even in the game, and you watch like the heroes of Earth get decimated, essentially. Not unlike the Infinity War to bring back a callback to last week's episode. Great story, and something that there's a sequel to this game later, and while the gameplay arguably was better in the sequel, the story in the sequel could not even match the story of this one, in my opinion.
But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in this story. The Galactus stuff near the end stands out to me as particularly great. And
then they teased that for the sequel and never did it.
Yeah. They went with Civil War as the storyline for the sequel. But the Galactus stuff here is outstanding, and I was so excited at the end of this game. I remember the ending of this game had me so fired up for a sequel. And I do love the sequel, legitimately. I think there are some missed opportunities story-wise, but gameplay-wise, I think it's a little bit better. But the story here is outstanding, and we're kind of, it's late at night, or sort of not really late, but it's at night when we're recording
You just feel like it's late at night because you ate like 3 pounds of lasagna.
Yeah, we just ate a lot of lasagna. I'm just tired, but nonetheless, so we're kind of blowing through the story here, but each character, as I mentioned, has their own abilities here. What are you guys noticing so far about your particular characters? I just figured I'd do something if I hold the right trigger.
Yeah, if you hold the right trigger, it gives you the a list of special attacks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I literally just figured that. That's how you use your abilities. I've just been punching the whole time. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I've been punching and flying.
I've been punching and spamming the hammer throw, which is like my favorite thing to do with Thor, because it's a boomerang type attack. So you throw it, goes around the room, and pretty much wipes out everybody and comes back.
Fuck that tank thing. Let's kill it. Kill it with more fire. Hey, what's going on?
David just called it an ultimate attack on an empty room.
And then Greg decides to do the
no. Once you do one ultimate attack, anybody who has one stored automatically.
I don't even know what the ultimate attack is. How do you even access it?
It's R trigger then Y.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
What are you doing again, Tim?
Yep.
Hit the.
There you go.
Grab enemies. Press. Oh, I know that. Shut up, computer.
Other way, fellas.
This way.
Other way.
Yep.
We're on
the way Thor's going.
Yes.
Oh man, so More interesting than silence of us playing this game would be people talking about playing the game. So, gentlemen, what are you experiencing with your characters thus far? A strong emotional bond?
I mean, playing with Wolverine is not something that I normally did in this game. I think because my favorite character was always Iron Man, so I kind of gravitated to playing as him. And I would kind of go between him and Daredevil, who is also one of the better characters in the game's roster.
I would agree with that.
But I'm actually really enjoying this time around with Wolverine, not just because he's wearing like the best version of his costume, but because that healing factor cannot be understated. Yeah. It is pretty tremendous. And if you just watch yourself and don't like get cornered with a bunch of enemies all at once, you can pretty much withstand just about anything.
Yeah, I remember my kind of my go-to team was I would have Iron Man in the Ultimate Armor because he had the health regeneration upgrade that David's playing with right now. And then also Wolverine, because both of them had health regeneration, and Wolverine had the added bonus bleed damage. From the claws, you could power up the bleed damage to where you could hit somebody once and then they would slowly bleed out. Thor was on there because of the aforementioned boomerang hammer toss type effect. And then I would either round it out with Black Panther, who also had bleed damage, or sometimes Daredevil, like Russell was saying. He was one of the better characters. I remember he had a baton throw that was kind of like the hammer throw. So you could pretty much lay down, the hammer throw and the baton throw simultaneously while you had the other two characters who were there to buff up with duration. So,
and speaking of Daredevil, we're actually about to take on one of his arch nemesis,
the legendary Bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shite. I just did a Texas Kerry Von Erich discus punch to this bastard.
Russell's unleashed Berserker Rage.
Yep.
Oh, I just threw him.
Boy, they sure do like to block, don't they?
Yeah, they are not pleased with getting their ass kicked. Why don't they just stand there and take it on the chin
yes.
like Rocky?
In fairness, I think Wolverine, the Hulk, Thor, and Iron Man versus Bullseye is a bit of a mismatch.
Well, now...
With all due respect to
we don't know how good this Bullseye character is.
Not good enough to survive very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already been disposed of. Colin Farrell's Bullseye, he ain't.
No, he is not.
And that may be a good thing. That's not for me to say.
You haven't seen the new Bullseye in Daredevil Season 3, so I won't make too hefty of a comment there.
No, Don't worry. Is Hulk a great big frat person?
He is today.
He's just a great big gray person.
Yeah, Joe Fixit. That's a time in Hulk's life that is different from what you would expect it to be.
Peter David run, right?
Yep. 1980s. I've never read that part, though. I started reading when he had the ponytail in the early 90s.
Well, that's... I love how...
That's pretty awesome.
I love how I get the greed.
We should explain what's happening here, Nick.
Yeah, so we have, at the end of each little stage, it shows you the team stats to show you the point score. And so, like, I have the most with, like, 2,400. Russell's in second with, like, 2,116. Greg comes up in a respectable third with 988. And then you have David with 41. I didn't know a two-digit number was possible, but it is. So there you are.
I didn't even know how to use my power until 3/4 of the way through the level either. I was just picking up people and throwing them.
I wasn't reaching them half the time because y'all got there first.
Yeah. Well, you can talk about the shrimp barbecue.
The band was jumping. The people, too.
They were doing the reach around.
Well, the reach around, yeah.
All right, Black Widow, we're near it. So,
no one cares what Black Widow has to say.
The premise of this game is there is a story, which I've forgotten, and each level you come across a bunch of mini-bosses before you get to the sort of main big boss of the level, if you will.
Russell.
Sometimes the big boss man is the said boss. But, and you come across these little portals where you can change characters if you want to, or upgrade your character, whatever you want to do. But, yes, so we've come across Scorpion and Bullseye so far. I don't know if it's 2 mini-bosses in the main boss, or 3 mini-bosses in the main boss.
It kind of varies from level to level. I don't think there was a set formula.
Now we're going to have to rescue this stupid S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
The way I heard you saying that was it's 2 mini-bosses.
You're right, that's fair. Good point, about Mr. Sunday. I don't know that the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent is stupid? I'm assuming it
Administer an
because
IQ test and find out.
well, I figure if you work for Shield, you're probably an idiot at this point for how many times they've been blown up, kidnapped, destroyed.
Well, one can say the same thing about the Green Lantern Corps, and you don't think all of them are idiots.
Well, most of them are.
I would agree with that.
Not most. That's an exaggeration. But they're really drawn into service. They don't have a choice in the matter, you know?
Well, I think you could refuse the ring. I think we've seen people
Yeah.
do that. I think Sword Natsu at first refused the ring, did you not?
Yeah, I believe so. But we're not supposed to talk about DC stuff right now. We're talking about Marvel. This is Ultimate Alliance.
It is.
A game for...
Hey, remember when they tried to make a Ultimate Alliance knockoff called
Yes,
Justice League
called
Heroes?
Justice League Heroes.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, they didn't get it right.
It wasn't nearly as like on the level of any of these games, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, those are not enemies.
those
Those
are-
are the Shield agents we've been saying.
We're knocking them into the fire, in fact. Oh, well.
Like they might help us. Nah, let's just burn.
Well, let's just
alive.
kill them. What's the matter?
They didn't
Hey, if
start
there's
the
no
fire.
witnesses, they can't ruin our heroic reputation.
God.
Dr. Doom!
No, it's a Doombot.
It's a Doombot!
Doombot.
The Doombots! You bastards! What are you doing?
That's the other thing that this is doing is
Hey, there it is.
when you come back from a cutscene, it's changing the camera view,
And it's, yeah.
disorienting us because we think
Totally.
we're supposed to always be going up, when in this case, I believe,
We're going down.
yes.
Going down, down, baby.
Going down, down, down. Just call me smooth.
Watch me do what I do. So you hate that theme song.
I do hate that theme song. And you know why? I don't hate that theme song because of the song, Nick. I hate the theme song because it's a bad wrestling song.
I disagree.
Come on. It's like it's one Billy Gunn.
No,
Theme
nothing
song.
is as bad as the one Billy Gunn.
Look at all I've got. Oh, that way?
I think through the window, yes.
I was referencing
Through the wall.
the great Nelly.
Nelly Furtado?
Yes. Stop flying. All right, go.
It has been stuck in a perpetual state of flying.
Eventually, the game just gives up. On
Yeah,
it.
if one person gets too far behind, it just brings you up.
Nah, just come on.
What was
Every
that,
time-
Greg?
Every
We're
time the
talking-
Hulk does this move, I'm going to make that noise. So jumping up in the air and smashing the ground, which to me, the sound effect for that would be, yeah. Pretty close.
You should be in anime.
I should be. Oh! Now they're really fighting. What was the point of us?
You guys are leaving us while we're trying to fight the Doombot.
Come back here, Doombot. Discus punch. I missed completely. No, it worked. Cyclone sledgehammer. We got some kind of a bonus for that. Okay.
All we need is Jeremy here to do the propeller arms freedom.
Propeller arm. So let's tell that story, guys. So in this game, Mr. Fantastic, the lamest Marvel character that there is.
Haha, what do you think about that, Mike?
Yeah, Mike. Propeller arm. Okay, so Mr. Fantastic's big move in this game is called propeller arms.
Which is exactly what it sounds like.
He literally turns his flexy arms into a propeller. That guy's shooting me.
Yes, now we're fighting the Winter Soldier.
Oh, my.
And the
AKA,
radioactive man.
Both?
Bucky Barnes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Dr. Doom was yelling at them.
we would always, every time that the, yeah, that's you, David, you gotta hit the A.
you're playing
Every time the, propeller arms would be used, somebody would say, yeah, propeller arms of freedom, in their best Conan O'Brien hero voice. And, that's pretty much it for that story. That's all I got.
It was funny at the time, damn it.
Yes.
You had to be there.
Mr. Fantastic sucks is the premise of it.
Pearl Harbor sucked.
What would it
That's you.
What would it be like to be able to jump on this game higher than
It would be
I
like
can?
hitting the Y button.
Well, Nicholas, I've been hitting the Y button, and I can't jump as high as...
Because you're the Hulk. You're not supposed to be able to jump like...
Actually, the Hulk can
Actually,
jump
the
very,
Hulk
very
is
high.
In this
Come on.
game, he can't.
Well,
Well,
That notwithstanding.
you know what? Piss on Mary, piss on the lamb, and piss on you.
when?
Every
Whatever you want,
day.
baby.
Oh, God. This podcast is getting weird.
That's right.
It's getting
great.
Bob, but my name's Billy.
Bob Gunn.
There it is again. With that damn noise.
I'm going to keep doing the noise, because we ain't giving the audience what they're for, which is hours of entertainment and
Incredible power.
shitty impressions.
That's what they need is...
I'm not here for them. I'm not here to entertain your audience.
That's fair. We are, though. Nick, you're giving me nothing.
No, we're pretty here to entertain the audience too, as we've said before.
That's well. So
I don't have a clue where we're supposed to go or what we're supposed to do.
Have we been going backwards this whole
We
time?
are going backwards now.
Well,
yes.
all right, let's go back outside.
Well, I see some like red areas on the map.
Yeah, but it's just red rooms. Like it's not like actually.
Ooh, is it just the tip though?
I think it's red ships of Spain. Actually,
Red ships of Spain, red ships of Spain.
Sadly, I saw
This
Herschel's
line
red
has
tip.
yet to be written.
why is that sad? Why don't you want to see Herschel's red tip? I
This
think
is Herschel.
he's very proud of it.
Herschel's a good man.
Where's he in here? What's he doing?
He's right here.
He's just
Yeah, we also have Herschel the Wonder Dog in here.
Herschel the Wonder Dog, one of the great individuals in this great sport. Let's go this way. Oh, I see
Yes,
where we're going.
yeah.
Yep. We're going to go up this way and we're going to sing this song. And, ladies and gentlemen, that was We're Going to Go This Way and Sing This Song by Greg Phillips.
By
I
Mr.
wrote it.
Fix It.
Yeah, Mr. Fix Ah! God.
The
Laser
Doombot!
vision.
Hey, Greg.
So apparently we're as predictable as the sunrise, according to Winter Soldier. Hang on, there's a Doombot here.
Yes, the Doombots keep popping up.
Imagine how many Doombots Arnold would have been able to call in on this
There's
game.
a laser trap.
This game is actually the first time that I thought to myself, boy, wouldn't Arnold have been great? Doom. And it's because of all the Doombots.
This is the origin of Get the Doombots.
Yes. Send in the Doombots! What are you doing? Do it now! I own that video. What are you doing here, Reed Richards? You idiot! You loser!
What are these things?
My real name is John Von Doom.
Ultron Strikers. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So
Striker
the
William.
Masters of Evil. I'm trying to remember this game. I know Loki, Baron Mordo, Doctor Doom,
Yep.
Ultron.
Baron Von Raschke.
No, Baron Von Raschke wasn't there.
Baron Bill Brasky.
Bill Brasky, yeah. Iraq, Iran, and one of the Koreas.
Hey, I think you're supposed to go up here, maybe. No? Yeah.
I think you're correct.
Oh, lasers, impossible.
Good Lord, are we just referencing everything from that year in our lives?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Who gives a flying doo-doo?
Take a dip in the...
Gulberry River.
I am not a crook.
You already are. You're my son, JB. My little baby says.
Well, I think we just had some inspiration for Jim Ross for the end of today's episode. Oh, you're my little baby sass.
Let us take a dip in the...
There it is again.
Hey, no, we actually got Doombots this time.
Yeah, at least we got some Doombots.
Yeah, at least there's some bad
We actually
guys
have
this
things
time.
to hurt.
Let us take a dip in the Strawberry River.
Achievement points.
Well, Mr. Ross, it's very nice of you to join us this early. I guess he was inspired by the game.
Out where the Sasquatch lie in the misty mountainside, he has got shiny diamonds that he got to protect me.
Oh, God.
These lyrics do not make sense. Think about the evidence. That Yeti is my papa.
Oh, God. Oh, God, what else? Oh, this might be the most unintelligible podcast since we did the deck building game a couple of years ago at Russell's house. And now Greg is dying.
Oh.
Meanwhile, be sure to tune into Looking Forward, Looking Back.
And the show has reached a new low. In first place with negative 5,000 points is Sean Connery.
Oh, man. But
In last place, French Stewart.
and we'll change up here in a minute after this kind of segment of the game or whatever, but do you guys remember playing as any other characters that you had fun as? I know, David, you didn't play it as much, so probably not, but I know, Russell, you probably had a good chunk of it.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, I really enjoyed playing with Spider-Man, even though he wasn't necessarily the best character.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
He has some
got him,
cool
Iron
moves,
Man.
though, and I mean, most of it was just like, oh, it's the thrill of being able to play as Spider-Man
Right.
in a game. But if I'm going to be honest, I mean, to me, my favorite characters to play as were like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Daredevil, Black Panther as well. Also has some
great.
really moves.
Oh, I see.
So those were pretty much my go-tos if I was going to build a team. But what I really love doing with this game is looking for the specialty bonuses that you could get by building like comics accurate teams.
Yeah, because you could put the Fantastic Four together. You could put the Avengers together, the Mighty Avengers.
I
You could put
really
all
imagine
kinds of-
why you'd want to put the Fantastic Four together, but I mean, yes, you can
If you chose to.
If you chose to
It was one of those
do
things
that.
where we would only put them together because we knew we'd get a bonus from it, because none of us were actually fans of the group, but
Does anybody know what we're supposed to be doing
I
right
have
now?
no idea. I was just wondering that.
I mean,
I thought we were supposed to
those
destroy...
of you who can fly are having a lot easier time like getting around.
Right. I was thinking we had to destroy these guns, but it's not letting us.
No, there would be an X on the map. So that's one thing we should talk about is
fire.
is the heads-up display. This game has kind of the indicators for your health and your power, but it also has like an actual mini map that just kind of shows you where you are and kind of gives you some guidance as to areas that you have to
Thanks for
explore.
tossing me there,
Is that
buddy.
the cannonball special?
Yeah, fastball special.
Fastball special. Cannonball special.
So clearly, this is not the way we're supposed to be going. So we're going to go the other way.
Well, I think we're supposed to put that fire out and save those guns.
No, when there is an objective, it will mark on the mini map with an
okay.
X.
Fair enough. So, back we go. From whence we came, we shall remain until we are complete again. I see.
There's the exit.
I went the wrong way. Sorry, guys. So, I'm stuck again. There we go. Yes, so to answer your question, Nick, I remember playing as Captain America being awesome.
Oh, yeah,
here.
the shield throw.
The shield throw is
because once you
spectacular.
threw the shield, you could actually use the other stick to control the shield as it went around the room.
Which today, if you think about it for like PS4 games or Xbox One games, that's not that uncommon of an ability to have on a game. But back then, it was really groundbreaking to have that ability.
Yeah, we have breaking news, folks. We just finished up another section of the game, and David Sunday actually got into triple digits this time. 466. That's amazing.
And yeah, so I loved playing as Cap. I loved playing as Iron Man. I loved playing as Thor. Thor was probably my favorite to play as in the game, to be honest.
If you have Cap and Iron Man on the same team, they can do the shield blocking Iron Man's.
I think they didn't introduce that until in the second one.
Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
thought that had been the first one, but
I thought so too.
No, the combo attacks that actually where it was the few attacks that was in the second one.
We did just discover a second ago that Greg can throw me.
Yes. Watch this. I'll pick up Wolverine and the fastball special from X-Men. Now, we actually have to use it on an opponent, but
Wolverine
we'll do that later.
cheating on Colossus, my lord.
Well, Colossus isn't here, is he?
But he could be, and he will be whenever we get to, or maybe he will be. We don't know.
We got to determine. So, I got to say, I've never played as the Hulk before that I can remember on this game.
Well, the Hulk was part of a downloadable content pack, so this is crazy to think about the fact there was downloadable content back in 2006 or whatever it was. But
Yeah.
They released 2 downloadable content packs for this that each featured a pack of 4 playable characters. There was a Heroes pack and a Villains pack. The Heroes pack... the Heroes pack
You can fly. I
featured Hulk, Hawkeye, Cyclops, and I'm blanking on the fourth one. Hulk, Cyclops, Hawkeye, and...
Psylocke? No,
No, not Psylocke. Nightcrawler? That sounds right. Nightcrawler, yes. And then the Villains pack featured Venom, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and Sabretooth. So you got 2 X-Men villains who had appeared in... Or 2 X-Men characters in each pack in previous X-Men Legends games. Then you got 2 kind of new characters. And David just leveled up. Big deal.
So, yes, that's correct. But I've been a big fan of playing Hulk so far.
I always like
not
playing
one of
as the
my-
more like tank-like characters anyway.
Yeah,
Just tear through stuff,
He's got the ability to pick up stuff more than any other character in the game that I can recall, and just does a lot of damage. Now the problem is you can't. It's hard to get as many opponents with him as you do with the other characters because he doesn't have any projectile attacks. He has to pick up stuff and throw it.
But he does have a
doesn't do
splash
that.
attack, which helps. The Hulk smash thing.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, and each character has 4 different abilities that you can use at a given time, which you can change or upgrade throughout as the game progresses. This is very much an RPG in that way. You get points for combat, you get points for villains defeated, things like that, and pick power-ups you pick up along the way, and you can sort of swap out abilities, figure out what you like with your character, what you don't like with your character, and sort of get your rollout to be something that you can use. And there's only a handful of characters on this game, in my opinion, that are to the point where I can't get a rollout for them that I like. I remember that, because most of the characters where I could use them at least.
I'm different maybe when I play these games in that like I almost always focus on entirely on offensive abilities. Like I know a lot of characters, like the Invisible Woman, for example, has a lot of defensive focus.
That was me. That was me, guys.
Defensive focused attacks that are meant to buff the other characters. That's just never the way I play. Pure attack with maybe some health buff along the way, like the health regeneration and stuff. But like defense has never been my preferred play style in any of these.
Yeah, I like it, and I think they made it a little more important in the second one to have a defensive specialist. But yeah, it's the same way for me. I think everybody.
Fing Fang Foom!
Wow, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, Fing Fang Foom has just popped up. The alien dragon.
So yeah, you have the ability to create shields for others. You have abilities to sort of enhance others' abilities and stuff like that. But mostly it's fun just to go and wreck shop. And as long as you're doing it in a cooperative manner that doesn't hurt the team, which we're still early enough in the game that there's nothing I don't think we could do to really screw it up. Are you controlling that, Nick?
Yeah, you have to. So you hit him for a little bit, then he flies off, and then somebody has to go up and hit him with the gun controls. Yeah, so we should probably explain kind of. I don't think the setting of this level that we're actually playing.
A shield helicarrier.
Yeah, the game opens with the shield helicarrier under attack from Dr. Doom's forces. And here we are, we're making our way throughout the helicarrier, kind of putting out different situations as we come along, rescuing personnel. We've mentioned encountering Scorpion, Radioactive Man, Winter Soldier. And now we are outside again on the deck of the helicarrier, and we are battling the alien dragon Fing Fang Foom, a classic Iron and Hulk villain, if I'm not mistaken, primarily. Who I've never actually, I don't think I've ever read him in a comic story that I can recall. I'm sure he's popped up in some Thor that I've read. Seems like
I'm surprised he hasn't popped up in Marvel Age. I would have figured he was more of a 60s villain.
Yeah, well, we're not being comprehensive in our reading, as you know. We're kind of picking and choosing our way through it. And I can't imagine Fing Fang Foom lending himself to overly important stories.
It's X that gets you up there.
X, yeah.
And then up there, it's like you have to inverted aim it, like you're doing a flight control or something.
There you go.
And these Doom bots. How the hell does Dr. Doom have so many Doom bots?
Well, he's the leader of a advanced country.
I agree, yeah, certainly. But hey, we Fin Fang Foom, whatever his name is.
We did.
So we have just slayed a dragon, ladies and gentlemen.
And we have an unlocked achievement for that.
And I believe if this were Game of Thrones, we would be in good shape right now, but it's not. And so we're still have to kill Doombots because there's 7 million Doombots.
Greg trying to make a Game of Thrones reference.
I know, I can't do it because I don't know anything about it.
You started, and like halfway through, you're like, I don't know where I'm going, so you gave up.
One day.
Say that.
Well, there's not that many episodes, so...
Now, this is the kind of thing you expect to see. Everybody just sitting around.
Just sitting around.
Yeah, so we cut straight from the helicarrier to people just sitting on a couch.
So I can speak a little bit to this. This is a bit of what we're seeing now is the end of level 1. We finally get to the Avengers headquarters, if you will. This is an evolution of what they started in X-Men Legends with a central camp that you can go to where you can level up your characters, you can do training missions, you can have interactions, so it's kind of another RPG element. You can have your characters walk around the headquarters and actually with and talk with other characters, other heroes and even villains or whoever along the way that you encounter. So this was a game that introduced all of these fun kind of character building elements in addition to the action that you're here for to play as your favorite Marvel heroes.
Yeah, and so you talked about the base camp setting, and that's something that X-Men Legends kind of did, the first one at least. You had the X-Mansion that kind of served as your base of operations, and very near the end of the game, that changed because the X-Mansion was under attack. Here, as you move throughout different sections of the game, base of operations actually changes. You may have, like I'm trying to remember, for example, later on, Valhalla becomes a base of operations, where you are in the Asgardian portion of the game, and that's kind of where you're bedded down for the time being. At one point, Stark Industries comes under attack, and so you're no longer able to access this. And so you kind of move, I think the Sanctum Sanctorum becomes a location later in the game that you kind of use as base camp. So that's kind of cool in that. And that brings up another good discussion of, there's a lot of, it really does feature a lot of really cool locales from across the Marvel universe. We were just on board the SHIELD helicarrier, as we were talking about.
We just went to Avengers Mansion for a minute.
Yeah, we're at Stark, I think Stark Tower, technically. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go in and do our first change up. So we're going to pick different characters here, as if everyone would come this way.
Oh, this way. Okay.
Towards the blue thing on the map. Yep.
So there's a changing room here, so to speak, where you can try on different outfits in front of your friends.
Absolutely.
And,
That is what we do on weekends. most
Indeed.
of the time. I think I would like to change over to Daredevil, honestly.
All right, let me do mine first.
oh, Nick always has to go first.
I don't have control over anybody else's at this point.
Nick first, everyone else last. Like a true...
Oh, that can't be me, having to wait my turn, sitting here as other people select characters before me, getting the characters that I want. That's not fair! Can any of you pick now? No.
That can't... No, we each have to do it individually from the menu, I think.
Okay.
From the...
Oh, there you go. Player two's up.
Which is not me.
Yeah, Greg.
It's not me either.
Is it?
It is you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this. I think. I haven't played with Cap in a while. I think I'm just
Keep
gonna...
it in the middle, kid. That's not how he says it, but...
And see, we just got a...
Classic Avengers.
So right now we have a combination on screen of Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk, which gives us a boost as Classic Avengers. David, I believe, is up. Actually, Russell has to start. Yep. Now,
On
David's
the
up.
wings of a slow white dove.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I have to admit that is not fair. Me with the pot belly and the small genitalia. But
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having a pot belly and small genitalia, I'll have you know.
quite frankly, I'd suggest that for some of us, life isn't
Not fair. You haven't watched tomorrow will be your first experience watching the Lion King trailer, where you're a little Scar as Vince McMahon in the opening line.
Yes, yes, it's going to be tremendous.
Some of us, now for just some of us,
Good start.
not all of us, but some of us, well, quite frankly, life isn't fair. Life sucks, and then you die. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
There hasn't been nearly enough of that lately.
It really hasn't. I feel like we've cooled it on it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I need to bring it back.
Let me pick Cyclops so I can try to unlock one of them. How do you unlock uniform? What an ugly, god-awful suit that is.
Horrible.
Change it.
Sadly, both of the Cyclops uniforms I've unlocked to this point are...
Oh, no, that's not what I meant to do.
Go over. Yeah.
Describe the suit so Tim could know what you were talking about.
Yeah, we are dealing with what I call condom Cyclops, which has always been my least favorite. Like, the Cyclops with the head wrap on top, I've never liked that costume in any incarnation. I'm full on, give me the 90s, with the douchebag hair sticking out the top and swoop to one side. If you're not going to do that, I have no interest in your Cyclops costume, thank you very much.
And Nick, how exactly do you level to get... How do you unlock costumes on here? Do you remember?
I don't know. I believe that I don't know is the answer to that question.
I also believe that you don't know.
I think you can spend them with points as you're running around collecting. Because a lot of times when you break stuff up, in fact, let me see. As when you're running around breaking stuff up, little bits of currency kind of floats around out there in the ether, and I believe
Sort of like little bits of corn in your stool. Yes, yes, stool poop. It's all the same.
But you didn't have any corn.
I'm thinking of a character that I haven't unlocked.
It's always bad when you haven't had any corn and you find corn.
It really is. It's horrifying.
Let's say Hawkeye, for example. I haven't unlocked all the.
Like how he strokes his bow there. It's like,
And I don't know is the
It
answer.
doesn't let you do it. Hang on, I know one way we can find out is someone that has
Everybody hit start.
the ability. Start.
I
Yay.
just did a backflip.
You did.
On
So
the
you picked
game,
Daredevil.
obviously,
So
not-
we should talk about that. So I have changed from Thor to Black Panther.
I have changed from Hulk to Cyclops for some reason.
What a downgrade.
I've changed from Wolverine to Captain America.
I've changed from an
Ooh,
Ironmonger
who's she?
to Daredevil.
Someone who's not in from
That is not Jean Grey or any clone of Jean Grey. Please turn around, sir.
Oh, my attempts at flirting failed.
Ooh, there's people over there.
Where?
Hey, how you doing?
Who's who again?
I'm
DC.
Daredevil.
You're Daredevil, and Nick is War Panther.
No,
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
War Panther.
War Panther.
Sex Panther.
So we are moving
Sixth
on
row,
to the
I
next mission in the game, which is the Omega Base, which I don't even think it was something I knew about coming into this game. Apparently, it's a giant rolling, kind of like a helicarrier, but on wheels. I think is the way it's described in this game, which sounds dumb.
On what again? On wheels.
On wheels, excuse
Thank
me.
you.
Says the man who's been missing softballs left and right tonight.
Not on this show.
Not on the show, that's true. But our real lives are not this show, Greg.
Actually,
Aren't
they're
they?
very close.
Yeah, it's similar.
No, Wolverine. I would like to point out in this this
Cinematic?
cinematic right here,
Any of those will work.
Wolverine had Osborn here. I just want to point that out for a moment.
You and your damn Osborne hair.
He had it.
I don't believe you.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong, is what I'm saying. Who's that?
That is Dum Dum Dugan, my friend.
One of the great character names in comics.
So now we're on a fucking escort mission, which I hate in video games.
I do too. They're never fun.
They are never good. The characters are almost entirely useless.
Hang on.
We haven't done anything, and Dum Dum Dugan has already lost like a quarter of his health. Like, this is already...
Okay, we're back. We're going too far.
This
back.
is not good. We have to protect,
Optic
Dugan
blast!
at all costs.
Optic blasts. They're not lasers. They're optic
Impossible.
blasts. Concussive force.
So now, so the Omega Base, in the first level, we mostly dealt with Ultron robots and Doombots. And so here, we are moving on to AIM troopers, who are kind of... They eventually reveal that MODOK has a role to play in all of this.
What does this stand for? Advanced what?
Advanced Idea Mechanics.
There we
Oh,
go.
I thought you were talking about MODOK. Excuse me.
No, that's...
And here's a big giant thing.
That's what nobody ever said to me.
No.
Look at this. I can just optic blast.
You can.
He's dead now.
He is.
Probably 5 minutes ago. He was
Yeah.
Shut up. This is bad. Hey, I'm current on Cyclops.
He still has a condom for a costume.
I don't care about his condom. You just need one with me. He's doing pretty good. Look at
There's
that.
been a lot of discussion about
Look at him.
anal sex this weekend.
Look
already.
at that guy. Oh, yeah. Look at that. What's the point of that?
Just to look cool.
Cyclops is officially the most extra member of this team.
Yes, that's the equivalent of Professor Xavier screaming to the heavens.
But now we get what Xavier sees in him.
Oh, Lord.
So, yeah, we mentioned the different locales for the bases. Do you guys remember any of your favorite levels at the time?
Yes, I remember my favorite one was the one at the very end. Actually, Galactus's
On the homeworld was the Kree, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the Kree homeworld because it was
Yeah.
so different from anywhere we'd
Yeah.
been in any of these games or X-Men Legends. It was just a completely original. What in the heck is that thing?
So in the original game, that's how you unlock Daredevil. Daredevil and, I believe, Black Panther both can only be unlocked by collecting 5 hidden action figures throughout the game. So there are 5 Daredevil action figures hidden in certain levels. Find all 5, you unlock Daredevil. I believe Black Panther kind of was set up the same
Whoa!
way.
I just some sort of a boost with my power.
Not surprisingly, I think my favorite level of the game, from what I remember anyway, was the Asgard stuff.
Yeah,
Because
that's good.
Asgard played a major role in the plot of this game, to the point where it was, that was kind of what Doctor Doom was seeking, was the power of Odin. And so you get some good stuff with the Destroyer, you get some good stuff with Loki, you get some good stuff with the Enchantress and Scourge. I think Ulik the Troll at one point. There's an entire level that takes place on the Rainbow Bridge, which was so cool.
Right.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, the Rainbow
for
Bridge.
Thor
I do
fans.
remember the Rainbow Bridge.
The Wrecking Crew pop up at one point. So there's lots of good stuff for Thor fans, especially like back in 2006 when content for Thor fans outside of the comics didn't really exist.
The game has an interesting twist because when Doctor Doom is pursuing the power of Odin, it's actually Odin Kincannon from the Preacher stories. So,
are you saying that he's going to stick his penis in meat?
yes. Why don't you stick his penis in the meat, the action figure?
Or what about Meat, the professional wrestler?
Ah, yes, Sean Stasiak, who's a chiropractor now.
Nope.
Did you know that?
Nope.
Return to current mission. Sean Stasiak is now a chiropractor, Nick.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I did know that Brooke Adams goes to the chiropractor, and her
She
chiropractor
certainly does, and that's her right
Yep, and
as an American citizen.
this way, guys.
Stuff to break.
Yeah, give me something to break. How about your in face?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that song was a television. I mean, not a television song. It was a song.
Television
It probably
song.
was on television at some point.
What are you talking about?
Well, there was a song by Limp Bizkit called "Break Stuff." Okay, very simple about beating things up. Right before they came out with Crack Addict.
Was that? Oh, the Crimson Dynamo.
The Crimson Dynamo. Here he is. Come, comrade.
Who was kind of a loosely adapted into the character of Whiplash for
Of
Whiplash
Flash.
in Iron Man 2.
Whoa! Look at this shit. I am shooting blasts everywhere. I'm invulnerable when I'm blasted.
I kicked off an ultimate attack that time to actually, I figured it might be useful for a boss fight.
Ricochet slash. So Cyclops and Black Panther have a little something going on.
Yeah.
Why is he doing
I
that?
also reflected your eye beams a second ago.
Oh, sweet. Meow.
You have both.
How is he still alive?
With Crimson Dynamo.
God, yeah, God forbid.
Russians are very resilient, as you know. Ivan Drago, for example.
Ivan Drago had to raise his child to try to get revenge for him.
That's true. Of course, Brigitte Nielsen, also very resilient, because clearly she's been beaten about the head and neck area with an ugly stick in the last 30.
You
and yet
have to
somehow
admit, if
still
that
lives.
is your mother, it looks as if she was beaten with an ugly stick.
It is remarkable how poorly she is aged. Like,
Well, you know,
no, there's no defense of this.
drugs and hard living, man. Steven Tyler hasn't aged well either.
Yeah, but Steven Tyler looked terrible in 1974. Like, Brigitte Nielsen was legitimately a stunningly beautiful woman at one
Yes.
point. And now,
And she was married to
she
Sly
looks
Stallone.
like she is made out of Donald Trump's nutsack.
Would explain a lot.
Oh, God.
She was in Billy Madison, right?
No,
No,
that's
you're,
that's
you're thinking of Bridget Wilson.
Bridget Wilson.
Oh.
Brigitte Nielsen was
She was
Rocky
the
IV.
Rocky IV,
Yes.
Ivan Drago's...
Oh,
For
no, thank you.
yeah, she was also on Flavor of Love.
she. Oh
Or
yeah,
no.
yeah.
yeah, she loved her some Flava Flav. That was a thing.
Now what are we doing? I feel like we're going backwards again.
I feel like that was a 2000.
You know, Cyclops has a decent jab on here. Look at that. That's textbook.
That's a good working punch.
Yeah.
Unlike right hand.
Oh. All right, now we go
Hey,
back
Billy
this
Gunn
way.
had a good working.
He
punch.
did. Billy Gunn had abilities.
Where the hell are we supposed to be going?
I think we're going this way. No, we're not. Why are we going back this way? Because
This is the way to go.
Yeah. We gotta go up and to the right.
Why didn't we know that at the time?
Short, shriveled, and a little to the left. Because there's a room there.
Hello, room.
Right here. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Help me out, Nick, for God's sake.
I'm not much of a singer.
How things go for you today. Oh. Hello, ceiling. Get off of me.
I don't think Sealand was one of them.
Well, it should have been. I can't hurt this guy. He's immune to my blasts.
No, he's not.
That's what you think. Costco.
What?
I don't know. What if Costco were able to play this game with us as an entity? Wouldn't that be something that...
Yes, I guess.
Absolutely it
Let's
would.
just say yes and move
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Hey, these guys have shock sticks. And I can't handle these big dudes. They're killing me. Here, I'll help the team.
What Greg is talking about is it seems like AIM has let loose experimental super soldiers who are attempting to, I think they're trying to recreate the formula that made Captain America. So it seems like that's what's going on.
This is the kind of stuff that leads to people like Captain Iraq.
Captain Arab is what you used to call him.
Ah, yes.
Back this way, guys.
Yeah, I know. We're just clearing out the facility. Dugan. Now, tell people, Nick and Russell, in your experiences with Silver Age, Bronze Age Marvel, tell people Dumb Dugan.
He sucked
He did indeed.
because all the Howling Commandos sucked.
They never proved themselves useful
No.
at any point. They're not even good at delivering hokey dialogue. They are just there to take up space on a page because I guess Stan felt place somebody needed to be.
Stan felt like there was still a need or a desire for war comics, even though there wasn't.
Now, how would Dum Dum Dugan compare to Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
They're two different beings. I don't know. I don't know how to compare those.
If they were to get into a fight, who do you think would win?
Well, Hacksaw has the 2x4. So
fair enough.
I'm going to go with Hacksaw. Of course, Dum Dum would probably call his Fury, and then the Avengers would show up. And I don't like Hacksaw Jim Duggan's odds against the Avengers. I'll put it that way.
Now, what do you think about his mustache, though?
Oh, the mustache is wonderful, as is the top hat, or the bowler hat, I should say. Unrelated, but I've been playing a golf game lately, and when I started, the first like 30 hats that you unlock for your golfer to wear are all fucking, well, hats that David would wear. I'll call him that, because I can't call him the other thing on the podcast, because I've been told that's offensive.
You've been told.
When has that ever stopped you?
I don't...
Don't do it.
No, I'm not saying do it.
At the risk of sounding like Randall from Clerks 2, I don't think that's a racial slur, but we'll leave that here.
It's something about the Irish.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's not race. That's a nationality.
We have a lot of proud Irish listeners, and
yeah, but I don't think they would be offended by that, would they?
Well,
I don't know, but if
well,
they
that depends.
Are,
Do you
I'll
think
probably
they
find out before you guys, since I just booked a trip to there.
Yeah.
Go into a bar and call one of them never mind.
What?
Now, did you? Do you think that? How do you think they would react, Nick, if we played Artie Kendall for them?
Oh, Artie Kendall's great. Oh,
Irish people's brains are made of hem.
God almighty.
We're just referencing stuff, Greg. We can't reference stuff.
We didn't write
Really.
that.
What the hell is our podcast even going to be anymore?
Pee their pants, they still don't give a damn.
There he is. He's getting in on it now.
For those that may not know, that was from Conan O'Brien's late night show in the early 2000s.
I'm getting hit with rockets.
Me too. The rockets red glare.
One cool thing about these, you can grab them, and if you tap X real quick, you can actually tear them apart, or press X to grab them,
And then press something else.
and then tap A, and they will rip them apart rather than having to beat
I
them
just
up.
did it.
Otherwise, it just knocks me back.
Yep.
Oh, I like to shoot people with my optic blasts. They shoot concussive force, not lasers. That was the Cyclops song. Dave Matthews once covered it, actually. It went, oh, I like to shoot a laser blast with concussive force.
So, you guys mentioned the sequel earlier. We spent some time playing that as well, as I remember in college, but
Yes.
not as much as this one, for whatever reason, even though, like we said earlier...
It's shorter, for one thing.
It's shorter for one thing, and it's better from a gameplay perspective, but I don't think the roster was good on the second one. And again, as I said earlier, the story I don't think was as good on the second one. For whatever reason, the replayability of it just didn't... It's a good game, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, and it's got a lot of fun stuff on it that this game doesn't have gameplay's perspective, but it is shorter, and the story isn't quite as compelling, and the roster, I agree, is not quite as...
Yeah, because you've got spots on the roster taken up by characters like Penance, who was flash in the pan, flavor of the month character possible at that time in Marvel.
Yeah, Penance Warbird is on there, character that, frankly
Mockingbird,
is...
I think.
Mockingbird, yeah, which is a fine character, but not one that I would think of as being essential to a game like this.
And then they did a re-release of this on the PlayStation and Xbox, or Microsoft Store, I should say, recently, where you can actually buy this on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and play it online with friends. I know you could back then, but online wasn't nearly as prevalent, 13 years ago as it wound up becoming. And Russell, I know you've picked that up. My understanding is that it doesn't remaster anything. It just is essentially is.
Basically,
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't change a thing about the look or the feel of it. It's all the exact same game. It's just ported over. So if you played it on PS2 and Xbox 360, it's the same game. Actually, I kind of prefer it that way. Like, no real changes. You can just jump back in, and it feels like coming home.
Yep,
I could do with an HD update, like update the graphics, but keep the gameplay the same. But I haven't bought it yet. I'm probably not going to at this point because I guess we should go and address this a couple months, 2-3 months from now. You and I, at least Russell, will be playing Ultimate Alliance 3. They're finally bringing the franchise after. God, what was
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, more than
it's
10
been-
years, because this
it's
was
been
06. I think Ultimate Alliance 2 was like 08, 09.
Something like that, yeah. But it's going to be Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order.
Yep, an Infinity Gauntlet, or seemingly an Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos-focused story, kind of taking some cues from the MCU and Infinity War, and featuring, some characters that have enjoyed a higher profile in the 10 years since. So, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy will heavily feature.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. She's on the game on this game.
She's on this game as Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, but in her new role. Various other characters that I think Miles Morales, for example, is on the game. I believe Spider-Gwen is on the game. So lots of characters that wouldn't necessarily have even been thought of, or in the case of Miles Morales, barely existed or didn't exist when these two games came out back then. So a little bit of a roster update, and the only hope we have, I believe, Namco
the game that induces epileptic seizures.
or Bandai Namco, I believe, is doing the update for that. Not Activision, who developed these two games. So I have to admit, I'm a little nervous about how the game is going. Too many changes being made to the fundamental gameplay, because I don't think, as we said earlier, I don't think you need those. I think it holds up so well. What I'm looking for is a graphical and roster update for the third one. So I'm a little nervous about it, but looking forward to playing it nonetheless. I'm glad the franchise is being brought back. It just sucks. Even as I'm a owner of the Nintendo Switch console, but I do think it sucks that other console owners are not going to get an opportunity to play the game.
Right. I don't actually have a Nintendo Switch, and as a huge fan of Ultimate Alliance, I've been, as you know, Nick, I've been fighting for a sequel to this ever since this one came out, or ever since the second one came out, I should say. So,
you and I have been politicking for 2 video game related developments.
Yeah.
1, a sequel to Ultimate Alliance. 2, a return of GM mode to the to the WWE 2K franchise. And I still say that needs to happen so that I can put the rest of my life on hold.
I agree with both of the things you said. I would say both of those are essential. Let the record show, when we went through that door before we got that little cutscene, I was so convinced it was going to be an enemy that I fired an optic blast at Bruce Banner.
I mean, that one could hardly blame you.
Kind of deserves it.
I mean, next to Reed Richards, Bruce Banner might be that guy.
Or Professor Xavier.
No, that's a stronger point. Professor Xavier probably earns more than Bruce Banner does.
Even the animated series, because he's a nicer guy on the animated series, but he also passes out every time he uses his powers, so... He's dead. I finished him. Somebody did anyway.
I like how, Greg, we are accidentally hitting the bonus for Captain America and Cyclops.
Yeah, we keep accidentally getting combo bonuses for stringing together a series of Mews. Talk to Bruce Banner.
No, we don't need to talk to him. Screw him.
All right.
No, go to the bottom.
I know. Thanks, Dr. Banner. All right, Dr. Banner was a lot of help to us just now.
No, he wasn't.
And we're going to figure out what to do next. So, David, as your first experience playing this, have you sort of somewhat gotten the hang of it yet?
Somewhat.
You know how to use your powers and stuff now?
Yeah, mostly.
How does your narrative compare to your original character you're playing as?
I think Armin was a little more effective once I learned how to use them, but pretty good.
Very good, very good. Russell, how is your changed character playing?
There's some fun stuff to do with Cap. The shield throw is something that takes a little getting used to, because I can kind of direct the shield a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of doing it that tends to prove a little difficult. Of course, somebody tends to trigger this big group moment.
I think it was Greg this time.
Yeah, it was.
I do think maybe I prefer Wolverine to Cap.
Man, this animation attack is hellaciously long.
Very slow. Yeah, so Nick, what about you? What about comparing Black Panther's playing ability to Thor's playing
Very different characters. Black Panther's a little bit, or not a little bit, a lot faster, more based around speed and quick attacks, and he also has the bleed damage. So you're kind of getting in, getting your blows in and kind of trying to get back. Whereas Thor is just this straightforward tank of a character who is borderline impossible to stop when you've got him powered up. So, that game, even, I remember when we used to play it before, the difficulty level on this is not very high. Like, I don't remember dying that often.
Right. Only on certain boss fights.
Right, but that's not really the point. You know, it's...
Right. There is a boss fight or two that gets really difficult on here,
right.
but it's not until later on. But the point is just to have fun with your friends, ultimately.
Right.
This is a game not meant to be played one player. This is a game...
Although I played it one player a lot and had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, but I would say for most people, this is about get together with your buddies, at least one, find 3 other people to play it with, because it's 4-player offline multiplayer. We should probably mention that, I guess.
Unless you're playing the update, which is now online multiplayer. Yeah. So if you buy it on PS4 or Xbox One, you can play it with friends online.
Yes.
And I assume you could do that at the time as well. In fact, I know you could. The Xbox Live option is on the main menu when we fired the game up. But this is probably, like you're saying, though, this is probably the last game that I sunk a ton of time into from a local multiplayer perspective, just because we had people to play with. We had such a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And now we're going to stop talking because we're in the midst of
this is actually really difficult.
A fairly intense. There we go. But yeah, so I can't think of a game I've sunk this much time into offline multiplayer since then. Maybe like one of the Mario Kart or Smash recently, but like that's within the last like 3 or 4 years. It feels like there was a good like 8-year period.
Oh yeah, there was certainly since this era, because me and Jeremy playing Dust Warriors and then this. So like, you know, it's been, because honestly that feels like that generation of gaming, this past generation of gaming has kind of missed out on that. We don't have a lot of games that are designed for offline multiplayer use. Right. Even the Call of Duty stuff like that, this offline multiplayer is considerably stripped down from what you get in the online experience. So it's just that's not a focus of people anymore.
Let the record show David outscored you that time back on that stage.
Well, I have a very no excuses here. I played as Cyclops, but
slander, lies, and slander that Tim Capel's not going to appreciate.
Tim Capel just probably turned it off.
Yeah.
However, I will say this. I like playing as Cyclops, even though I don't get him. He doesn't do a lot of damage on here. Is a problem. That's what I'm running into. Like, he has cool powers. They look great, but like, he doesn't have a lot of damage on, at least maybe to the point that I haven't built him up at all. So maybe that's the problem. But
that's part of it, probably.
We have to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, let it be.
Oh God.
Get it? You got it. Hey, we did it.
Indeed, we did. Gotta love QuickTime events. Kind of, they were all the rage in gaming there for a little bit.
Yes.
You know,
And they still are with Telltale games, or what was left of Telltale.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not really a thing anymore. So.
Yeah. So.
Uh-oh.
I wish it. Oh.
Well,
I wish it was still a thing, of course, because they were great in their way. But yeah, we are currently. Where are we, Nick? What kind of facility is this?
This is the Omega base. Referenced earlier, a shield facility that is a mobile lab of some sort. I don't know.
It's large, isn't it?
Yes, it is quite large.
No. We're over that small genitalia, Nick.
That's true. And these bombs right now we're doing kind of an elevator sequence where it's just not the best stretch of the game, I would say. Where you're confined to a tight space.
Yeah. Let the record show, though, Cyclops just did a Mirko Cop high kick, which was delightful to watch.
You are referencing Mirko Krokop in 2019.
I sure am. Believe it or not, Nick, he was fighting as recently as like a year or two ago.
Oh, man. Another ultimate attack, so...
And I just got hit with a right hand I could not duck because of the ultimate attack.
God, what else?
Wait a minute, we might get these guys, though. Hang on. Nope.
He's going to just turn it upwards.
What a useless ability. Come on, Psych. Ops. My psychic friend.
No!
My cycloptic colleague. Who did it again?
I think it was me. I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
The damn Y button. I'm going to put a piece of tape over the Y button, Guardians 2 style.
Well, you know what? The thing about this event is they sure could have sped this up, couldn't they?
Yeah, this is an example of load times back even 10, 15 years ago were a vastly different thing than they are now. But we've been playing for a little bit. I guess we should, give final thoughts and wrap it up, Greg.
Well, let's go around the room here. We'll start with you, Russell. How does this game compare to what you remember it being?
This one really holds up pretty well. I mean, graphically, it's inferior to a lot of the games you see today. I can't wait for the third game in the series so that we can see this updated for a modern, consoles. But overall, this is a whole hell of a lot of fun. This is a good time with your buddies, just sitting around, beating shit up using your favorite Marvel characters
and Reed Richards.
And fortunately, Reed Richards, if you like. I mean, or if your name is Mike and you're useless even on Twitter.
I get that reference.
He understood that reference, and that's appropriate as I'm playing.
We love you, Mike.
Captain America. I don't really love you, Mike. I just like to make fun of you because it's fun for me. And I also just appreciate your sense of humor about all this. But I'll give Mike this. We've been singing the praises of Daredevil in the game from the jump, and he absolutely is probably one of the best characters you can play as. So,
which is interesting because the other street level characters are not. Like I don't know what happened with their creation of Daredevil, but they certainly powered him up.
Do we consider Wolverine street level?
I wouldn't, personally.
I mean, fair enough.
He's always with the X-Men doing big grandiose stuff.
Yeah, but when I'm thinking about his power set and some of his solo stuff, I'm like, he's kind of street level. At least he can be. Now, one guy that I will say is definitely OP, more so than I remember in this game, freaking Cyclops. Sitting there just optic blasting his way through these levels.
You may not have played Cyclops ton again because DLC, and a lot of us didn't have it back then. I didn't have the DLC until I bought this game a few years ago from a GameStop used, and it was an edition of the game that came with the DLC pre-installed.
And in all fairness, none of us are I mean, some Cyclops more than others, but we're not huge. He's not one of our top Marvel characters that we would think to play in a video game, I think. Plus,
none of us are Tim Capel.
Right, and plus all of us have played Cyclops in Marvel games before. So I think when we had this the last time, or years ago, I want these characters I didn't get to play as a lot. Whereas Cyclops, I'd played so many X-Men games over the years, and he's always good in the X-Men games because he's got a cool ability. So,
well, that's the thing. That is another thing that we should talk about is that there are a lot of crossover characters between X-Men Legends and this game. And that's something that I
went.
I was very impressed by that they would have this kind of cross potential, because it really did seem like they could very well be two different franchises because they are pretty different from each other in a lot of respects. But
primarily art style would be the gameplay is pretty similar, but the artistic direction.
The storylines that they go for, because X-Men is as it sounds. It's an X-Men based game, so you're getting that kind of story. You don't really see much interaction with the rest of the Marvel U, if any at all. But when it comes to Ultimate Alliance, it's the broad strokes of Marvel Comics. So they included something from everything.
Right.
But to go back to your original question, my impression of the game this time is that this has been a lot of fun. This has held up well, and I would probably be good with spending an entire night just going through this game. And I think it's possible that we could very well finish it if we dedicated ourselves to staying up.
David, what about you? Your first time, I think, experiencing this game as far as playing.
Fun. Definitely took a little bit to get the hang of it, but pretty good.
And Nicholas?
Yeah, so there have been a lot of games over the years that, not to use a derogatory term, I don't mean this as an insult, rather as a compliment, that are essentially Gauntlet clones. Gauntlet was kind of the one back in the day that kind of kicked off this big, action RPG co-op craze, and many games over the years have kind of used that formula. And I would say of the ones that have used that formula, this is probably my favorite. It's the most effective one. X-Men Legends is great too. I played that a lot in high school. But this is taking characters and concepts that I love, throwing it in with a gameplay formula that is just insanely fun and, isn't overly difficult. It's just a great game that you can sit around with people, with your friends in a room and have a ton of fun doing.
Yep.
It's an area of gaming, offline, local multiplayer that, as Greg was saying earlier, gets neglected so much in today's day and age. And this has been really the last couple hours or hour and a half or whatever. It's been a ton of fun getting back to this and remembering how much potential.
Sure.
Not just this game, but just the idea of offline multiplayer has in general.
Because there's something about I think a lot of people always talk about how online gaming has reduced social interaction with that, but and to a degree, I mean, as far as real life social interaction, to a degree, I would agree with that. But the sitting around with your friends and playing video games offline, this was one of my favorite things to do in high school and in college. Was just whether it was music, whether it was a sports game, whether it was one of these types of games, just gathering around with friends and having fun. And especially co-op games like this are a lot of fun because you're not competing with each other. You're just kind of having fun and enjoying the story, enjoying playing as these characters and doing cool stuff. And there's a sense of accomplishment, too. Mm-hmm. That mutual feeling of accomplishment when you finally beat the game. When you get through a hard level, you figure it out, you lose once, and then you figure it out, and you figure out the pattern, and together you manage to overcome the game. So I love these types of games, and I still, even the little tiny gameplay annoyances I'm remembering playing through it, camera issues and things of that nature, it's still a great game, and I still enjoy playing it, and I wish they would come out with these every year because or at least every couple of years, because I enjoy hanging out with my friends and playing games, man. We don't do this enough. Especially
in today's day and age where downloadable content has become so much more of the business model for games. I mean, you could pretty much put out a basic engine for this and just, without levels, nonstop, and charge $1, $2, whatever you wanted to, for essentially the game as a service, just continuously update it, and I would do that.
Absolutely.
It's not something that needs to be overhauled graphically or gameplay wise constantly. You just kind of oh God, I'm glad we made it to this.
We have reached MODOK.
Oh, yes, and what a MODOK it is. God Almighty!
It looks like someone took Willem Dafoe's face and just stretched it as far as it'll possibly go.
Gave it Norman Osborn hair.
Oh, we actually have a trivia thing. So David right now is engaging with MODOK.
What is the half-life of strontium-90?
I have no idea. David, your guess.
Oh, damn correct. He shocked us.
He's going to murder us because we don't know science questions.
Which of the following is not a subatomic...
A
FOOMF. Yeah.
But the FUPA, however...
Run it in while we're free.
Froze you.
Which race exterminated itself with technology
from the...
Let's go with the Prosilicans.
Wow, good job, Nick.
Thank you.
The deal is off! Uh-oh, now we just have to fight him.
Now we have to MODOK this. We have to beat up a handicapped guy who's confined to a hover wheelchair is essentially what's happening. That's true, that's all he can do is kick us because his arms aren't long enough.
Oh, damn, I gotta kill this guy. This guy's hitting me more than MODOK is. Die, you little... man. That wasn't a good insult. I'm not good at this insult game.
Spider-Man, you're not.
No.
Come on. We're still recording, by the way, Greg.
I know. So you're saying I should give us they're giving us the go-home cue?
I'm saying, we were in the midst of thoughts, and then we got distracted. Again, a giant head in a wheelchair.
I like hanging out with my buddies. I like playing video games. And in any event, we hope you like playing video games, too. And if... What are you doing?
Making sure you hit the button.
I did.
Yay!
In any event, we're playing this game. We hope you enjoyed whatever the hell this was from a recording standpoint.
It may have sucked. It probably wasn't fun to listen to, but...
It was fun for us.
For us, it means we don't have to record anything else, so you're probably going to hear it anyway.
So with that being said, we're going to take a break now, and when we come back on the other side, we will have reading, watching, and the rundown right here at the Hard-Traveling Fanboys. And before we do that, we would like to invite you all to send us your thoughts to gphillips8652 on Twitter, Nick Duke A7 on Greg P at PlaceToBeNation.com, Nick D at PlaceToBeNation.com. Join the Place to Be Nation Comics Facebook page. Russell, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can hit me on Twitter and Instagram at Russell_Sellers. Make sure you keep listening to HTF. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Absolutely.
And definitely check out mine and Nick's other show, the Marvel Age podcast, where we go really in-depth on Marvel Comics year by year. We just wrapped up 1970. We're going to be moving into 71 pretty soon. And you guys will be hearing the penultimate episode of DC Post-Crisis Management pretty soon as well. And then a special final episode of that show coming within the next month or so.
Outstanding. David, where can they find you on Twitter?
Sunday Groove PTB. And I actually had Greg on Sunday Groove very recently, so check that out, where we talked about hidden gems, which were overlooked albums.
I had some hidden gems for you.
We had a lot of fun with that one. And with that being said, we're going to take our break. When we come back, we hope you stick with us. We'll have all the news and notes of the comic book world, our thoughts on the CW verse, and a little tune from good old JR.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Place to Be Nations, JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have over 24 podcasts available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com. We now offer them to you on 2 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation Wrestling feed, we dive into topics running the gamut from today's WWE to the glory days of yesteryear and the ins and outs of the territory days. In addition to our full-length shows, we also deliver to you special pod blasts on topics old and new.
The Place to Be Nation Pop feed is a veritable treasure trove of great content. Offer tremendous shows covering the land of movies, television, life, comics, and sports, brought to you by the most knowledgeable and insightful folks in the podcast world.
You can find all these great shows, plus archives of our past podcasts from over the past 8 years as well by subscribing to both feeds on iTunes. And while you're there, be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows, plus others, available on PlaceToBeNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects, and much more. Be sure to support our site by using www.PlaceToBeNation.com/Amazon when doing your online shopping. We want to thank our friends at Boneheads, Wingbar, ProWrestlingOnly.com, and TheHistoryOfWrestling.com as well. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Welcome back to the Hard-Traveling Fanboys.
Yes, welcome back to the second half of the show that immediately follows the first half of the show, which of course we just recorded a few moments ago.
And which I'm sure was fascinating to listen to.
Oh, I'm sure it was excellent. I'm sure it won't be at all one of the worst episodes of our show thus far, both from an audio standpoint and from a content standpoint. What else can you ask for from a podcast besides long stretches of silence where you might hear an occasional joystick click or button mash?
To me, it gets to the heart of who we are and what we do, though, does it not?
It does. We entertain ourselves at the exclusion of our audience.
That's exactly right. One of the other things that gets to the heart of who we are and what we do is the PTBN live read, which is something that I do not have in front of me right now, but something that we need to read.
Greg, it is. And, right now you're going to hear how the sausage is made because we completely forgot about this. So we're going to stall for time while we pull it up. And I've got it pulled up in front of me.
I do as well. I'm pulling it up right now.
And so we're of course going to divide this the way it should naturally be divided. And that way, of course, is for me to tell you about the PTBN pop feed where, Greg, I don't know, this may come as a surprise to you, but we had a busy week on the pop feed with a little something.
Nikes, or you shut the front door on me.
And not just was it busy, but we also had a little something for everyone. Avengers Endgame is a pretty big deal, and it's a pretty big deal when it's spelled as 2 separate words instead of 1. And we have you covered with
Ed Hedden, remember him?
Yes, indeed. And we have Avengers Endgame, the David Sunday pronunciation of Endgame. We have you covered with 2 spoiler-filled review. Greg, Nick, Tim, Sam, and Jenny.
Patterson has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. I'd say to Vin. I say Vin.
Turn the Hard-Traveling Fanboys podcast into a group therapy session for an emotional look at this epic movie. And Andy Atherton and Miranda Bertol will give you your thoughts and views as well on an episode that is a review, I guess, that you can find in the pop feed. Yes. Atherton then welcomes in an all-star cast for the summer movie preview edition of Looking Forward, Looking Back.
Yes.
Russell Sellers.
And a bunch of our friends are on that, too.
They are, and I'm sure they did an excellent job. Russell Sellers and Stephen Ferrari look at Dark Seed War on DC Post-Crisis Management number 7. The NBA team dig into round 2 of the NBA playoffs. Todd Weber continues to review the last season of Game of Thrones in this installment of Binge Please. Cowboy and D'Amato are here with a new This Week in Sports, breaking down the NFL draft and round 2 of the NBA playoffs. The Hard-Traveling Fanboys are joined by Todd and go off the page to relive the Shazam TV series. And Steve and Kelly talk Bewitched and Natalie Imbruglia on Songs with Friends number 26. But that's not all. Because coming up on these very airwaves here at the Hard-Traveling Fanboys, coming up at the end of May, we will be wrapping up our Hard Travelers for Hire series. We've been doing these, not every month. We've had some theme months thrown in there, but mostly every month, Greg, for probably about 2.5, 3 years now, I think. And we're going to be wrapping that up, of course.
Sure have, Stevie.
With the, with now that Endgame is out and we have kind of put a bow on the Infinity Saga. And we're going to be doing a very special MCU retrospective, giant-sized edition of the podcast. You and I are going to be joined by some past guests that we've had on Hard Travelers for Hire for a retrospective look back at both the highs and the lows of the MCU. And we want your opinions. One of the things we're going to do is unveil the official Place to Be Nation ranking of all 22 MCU movies, and you can make your voice heard. And the way you do that is send your ranking, 1 through 22 of all the MCU movies. Send it over to me, Nick D at placetobenation.com. One of the loneliest email addresses in this here world. Send me your rankings. I will compile them all together, and we will put out one big master list that we will debut on that show. The full composite rankings, as I said, will be revealed on that show, so be sure to get your ballots in and make your voice heard. Ballots are due May 16th.
Wow, that's a lot of good content for our listeners, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, over at the PTBN Wrestling feed, that's right, Wrestling feed, Scott and Nate welcome in Andy Atherton to this edition of Main Event, and they do a mini great debate before diving into 2 big Okada matches. In the second episode of Row 1, Seat 1, Ben Zani welcomes Al Getz to talk about visiting MLB stadiums and UFC events, and then brings in Lane to talk the Scenic City Showdown, Nick. And Greg, that's me, Tim and Jenny are back talking WCW and breaking down some stiff as fuck Steiner Brothers matches. That was a hell of a fun podcast to do, I have to tell you. Over on the mothership, Justin and Scott brought in John D'Amato and Steve Bennett to deep dive. Let me rephrase that. To deep dive into the build-up for WrestleMania 5. Greg and Nick deliver episode 3 of What If? Exploring a world where Daniel Bryan stays healthy after WrestleMania XXX. Jeff is back learning wrestling with the road to WrestleMania 6. And we also hear all about JT's interesting experience with his grandmother's funeral.
Good God, man.
Over at PlaceToBeNation.com, PTB's excellent WWE Network adventure is back and running hot as the crew looks at a pair of 1994 episodes of Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Check out our social media pages and message board at www.piccolo34.proboards.com for information on joining our GWWE PPV and TV Match Ever project. Get in on the conversation today, and this is the most important part, start researching your list.
Yes, hours of research must be done for every list.
And we'll know. Believe me, we'll know.
Accurate store ratings only.
I'm glad we got all that out of the way.
Me too.
So we can get to the important stuff, like the difference between the Hakushi match for Bret Hart in 1995 and the Jean-Pierre Lafitte match.
Or, which one do you prefer? Are you a Desert Storm match or a match made in hell guy? Which one are you gonna
go? I gotta go with Desert Storm match because the match made in hell, I just feel like the Ultimate Warrior was stuffed in there for no real reason.
I gotta tell you, I've got all three big matches from that Hogan Slaughter feud on my list, my preliminary list.
Wow. Even with Colonel Mustafa's limited agility in the match made in hell?
Agility doesn't matter, Greg. It's all about storytelling and selling the leg, That's what's important.
Well, Slaughter was selling his hip or something. Not Slaughter, whatever his name was. Mustafa, Slaughter, Adnan, who cares? There was no doubt who was winning that match. I remember as a kid, I was like, what a mismatch, even though it was 3-on-2. Good Lord.
Hey, now.
Like an 8-on-2 match.
Colonel Mustafa was a former WWF champion.
Yes, that's true, but I don't remember if they referred to him as that, though.
I don't either.
General Adnan was just some guy.
Just some dude. In all seriousness, I rewatched Hogan and Slaughter from WrestleMania the other day, and I had forgotten how much I liked that match.
It's a real good match. Yes, it is. It's a real good match.
You can make the argument that it's one of the better Hogan formula matches from that era of the company.
And it was kind of a flashback for Sergeant Slaughter, who had not had many good matches for a long time at that point. So, good stuff. Now, let's get on to some of this here comic book stuff. So, what we're going to start out with is our weekly look at the PN news and notes in the world of comic books. Mm-hmm. It's a segment we like to call The Rundown.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to The Rundown.
Well, Nick, a lot has happened here in the post-Endgame world. Mm-hmm. We've got spoilers flying on the internet. We've got mass hysteria. We've got box office records being broken. But we should pause right now to let people know that a new trailer dropped this week on the internet. And that was the new trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. And before we get into this trailer has a spoiler warning before it. That if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, and so then you shouldn't watch it. So, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, I'm going to speak for my co-host here, and I'm going to say, stop listening to this podcast. In fact, if you have to skip this podcast, that's fine. Go watch Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
Go do it right now.
Especially because disturbing news came out today, Greg. I don't know if you read, but apparently over the weekend, Avengers Endgame officially is now off the pace it would need to overtake Avatar as the number one movie of all time. So people, do your part. Help to make sure that Avatar is no longer the number one movie of all time, and go see Avengers Endgame.
Yes, Avengers Endgame deserves it. Go see it multiple times. And here's another thing, Nick. How come Marvel doesn't re-release their movies the way that Avatar got re-released, huh?
Has Avatar been re-released that often? I'm not trying to troll.
It got re-released. It got re-released at least once, I know.
Well, typically movies do a re-release for Oscar campaigns. So
right. Well, I don't think this is going to get an Oscar, Nick. I'm just saying.
No, you don't have to get an Oscar, but if you campaign for one, typically studio will re-release your film. So, I mean, if I'm Marvel, knowing that, and granted, it's a completely different scenario, and I understand all the reasons why this won so many awards and why it's different from this, and I get it. But to me, if I'm looking at Return of the King and it essentially getting a bunch of Oscars because it was viewed as this, an acknowledgement of the achievement that the Lord of the Rings trilogy had brought to the screen, why not launch an Oscar campaign along the same lines for Avengers Endgame?
I think their best bet might, again, it's not going to happen, but their best bet might be to launch something for, to get, now that there's a list, 10 movies now that can get nominated? That might be their best bet to try to get a nomination on there. Maybe Downey.
I was about to say Robert Downey Jr., effects. They'll definitely get it nominated for effects and sound and all that stuff.
They should, yeah. They absolutely should. It shouldn't go to some movie called The Aquatic Life of Being a Wallflower or something,
Somewhere Steve Willie and Andrew Reich are ready to murder us right now.
Well, what's new?
You did call them the NBA B team.
That was one mistake that was made that was not intended. I love Andrew Reich. I would have children with Andrew Reich.
I will.
If I were a woman.
I was about to say that's physically impossible.
Right. But, if I were a woman that could have children.
I'm just saying, given their love of independent film, and here you are making up ridiculous titles like The Life Aquatic of Being a Wallflower.
What are your thoughts on independent film, Nick?
I don't have any strong thoughts on independent film.
That's a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie.
No, it's not.
Anyway, but we're not going to get into that right now. I'm not going to tell tales out of school, Nick.
Tell whatever tales you feel like, sir.
I'm going to tell you.
I ain't scared of shit, Bruce.
I'm going to tell you a tale right now out of school, Nick.
Tell me
Actually, it's in school.
It's in school.
It's
in high school.
This is a tale about a young high school man, an All-American. A high school All-American.
Was he? Now I. Hey, JR, you know that Jerry Lee Lewis song, High School Confidential?
Hopping at the high school hop. And I'm going to tell you who else was hopping at the high school hop. Rick and Scott Steiner, the Steiner brothers, 2 NCAA All-Americans.
Tell you who else was hopping at the high school hop. My partner, Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, God.
Woo! Alongside our good, close personal friend, Jeremy Reynolds.
Oh. But the important thing to remember here is this is a story about a young high school gentleman who's whisked away for 5 long years.
Yep.
And he comes back, and he's the same age as he was, and his friends are the same age that he was, but he's lost his beloved mentor. And that young man decides that he's got to get away from it all.
Can you tell me the difference between a mentor and a mentor?
Well, a mentor is a guy that guides you in life and helps you make the right and wrong decision. A mentor is a guy who rides around the country in a creepy RV molesting you.
Fair enough.
So
we are full of it tonight.
And this kid ends up going to Europe on a vacation, as you do.
Yes.
And he's got to get away from it all. But then when he's there, he just keeps finding trouble because trouble follows him in the guise of a one-eyed government agent who recruits him to fight for justice. And anyway, I'm going to stop doing this bit now. The Homecoming, the Far From Home trailer dropped and is much more detailed now than it was before Endgame came out.
Understandably so.
So again, do not listen to this until you've watched Endgame. Now, that being said, this movie is going to pick up right after Endgame and is dealing with the ramifications of what happened, namely to Tony Stark, and the effect that is having on his pupil, Peter Parker.
And excitingly, not just Peter Parker, but I also get the impression you're going to see a lot of Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan having to deal with the loss of his best friend.
They really need to work on that name, Happy, because he's not been happy very much lately.
Well, that was the joke in the comics, is that he was named Happy in an ironic sort of way.
So it's one of those mobster names, like when you call a guy Tiny because he's really tall.
Yes.
Or you call a guy tall because he's really tiny.
In the original 60s comics, they drew him to have this perpetual scowl on his face. And so his nickname was Happy Hogan.
That makes sense. Or when you'd have a real fat guy and you'd call him Slim. Mm-hmm. Or you'd have a really skinny guy and you'd call him Fatso.
Yeah, or you have that big tall guy from Robin Hood and they call him Little John. Not Lil John, that's a completely
Lil John, yeah.
That's a different thing.
Yeah. And then exactly. That's exactly right. You have a bald guy and you call him Harry.
There you go.
Or you have a hairy guy and you call him old Baldy. Oh, that's good stuff. Anyway, let's get off of that subject. That's delightful, though. But so Happy Hogan's going to feature in this film. Aunt May is going to feature, of course. Peter is starting to get close to the weird outsider girl MJ from Homecoming. Mm-hmm. Now they're starting to form a what I believe humans refer to as a bond of some sort, and
sexual relationship.
We don't know that.
Well, a physical relationship,
maybe. And of course his good buddy Ned is going to be there.
Yes, Ned.
So also we get a much better glimpse at Mysterio now, who looks drastically different than he does on Monday Night Raw. I have to say, I don't know how they're doing it with these CGI effects, Nick, but he looks bigger and most impressively, he looks white.
Well, that effect has been out there for a long time. Greg, most notably, Chavo Guerrero used it to become Kerwin White back in the day.
Right.
So I'm assuming this is a similar effect, but like you said, they've enhanced it to help with the size rather than just the Latino to whiteness trend.
Gotcha. Well, yes, we see more of Mysterio here, and he claims to be a traveler from an alternate dimension as we open up the idea of a multiverse, which is named as such by Peter Parker in the trailer, a multiverse. Which, of course, once again, Nick, where might we have expected to see a multiverse first in a comic book film? Could it be the comic book company that has built its entire storyline structure on the existence of a multiverse? Absolutely not. It's the company that actually knows what the hell it's doing with movies.
To be fair, I'm not buying it at this juncture.
I'm not either.
I am approaching Spider-Man Far From Home. And I know some people may not be approaching it this way, but I'm approaching it from the standpoint of I think that everything Mysterio is saying or doing in these trailers is a lie. A lie or a ploy or a sham, a flim-flam, a hustle. What other kind of fun words can I come up with for it?
I don't grift.
Know. A grift. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. I'm not buying anything that's due to selling is the way I'm taking it. So I think the multiverse thing is bullshit. I think the Hydro Man and Sandman and all that stuff, I think all that's bullshit. I think all of it's bullshit.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Arnold's not in this movie, unfortunately, that we know of. But
God, can you imagine if they have the gut? If the MCU has the guts, if Kevin Feige has the testicular fortitude to give us Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Doom?
Listen, at this point, it's a direct challenge to their
give us Arnold, you cowards.
Yes, that's all. My whole life, I've dreamed of two things. One of them is world peace. Mm-hmm. The other, Arnold Schwarzenegger delivering the line, "Send in the Doombots. Do it now."
What if it did?
I've not gotten either of those things so far in life. My hope is that I'll get one of them. Also, I want a good Green Lantern movie, but I know that's less likely than world peace.
God.
So,
no, there have been a couple of them. They're called Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, yeah. So there's been several. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel. There you go.
Well, nevertheless, they're doing a multiverse movie according to the trailer, but I'm like you. Here's the thing. I think both things can be true. I think that it is true that Mysterio is lying through his ever-loving teeth and is putting on a show. This whole thing is a show and a sham. However, I also think it's true that there's a multiverse.
Yes, I think they will introduce the concept of it here, explain what it is and how it works, and then reveal that Mysterio was lying, and kind of use this as a soft introduction, a way to prepare the audience for the concept, so that later on they can say, "Well, wait, that is actually a thing." And
then here, I got it for you, Nick. They do all that. They reveal that it's all a sham, and then in the post-credit scene, they reveal that it's real. that there is a multiverse. And Peter goes, "Oh shucks!" And then Nick, we get Spider-Man Unlimited as the third movie.
Oh,
that's right.
Someone on Twitter the other day was pitching an idea that I already can't get out of my head of them just doing Tom Holland and Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse next to each other, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit style. And now I want to see it so badly. It would never work. I get all the reasons why it wouldn't work, but it's something I want to see.
I'm kind of married to this Spider-Man Unlimited idea now. I mean, think about it. Then who do you cast as the High Evolutionary? You got... there's just so many different questions.
Well, don't forget you also have to cast the High AF Evolutionary as well.
That's right. Well, I think
I'll suggest Seth Rogen for the High AF Evolutionary.
Yes, and I think for the regular High Evolutionary, you can get Sean Connery to come out of retirement.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
With his majestic white beard.
That would be awesome.
And then you have the Knights of Wondergore. All that. It would be great. It would be a great chance to pursue. You have counter Mary Jane, which could be played by literally anyone, I guess. And then you have counter everyone. I don't know. There was really only counter Mary Jane. We didn't have a counter anyone else.
Mm-hmm. All the wacky bullshit aside, sure. I loved this trailer. It is already showing that in the trailer, we already see Peter mourning and being miserable over the death of Tony Stark. And as you've come to learn over the course of more than 150 episodes at this point, there is nothing I love more than seeing my heroes miserable.
Which is interesting, because one of the criticisms that we've had of Spider-Man movies over the years is that Spider-Man didn't spend enough time being plucky, if you will. And
I think you have to find that balance, because Spider-Man, much like Batman, is a character who's, in my opinion, at his strongest when he is the most guilt-ridden. He's constantly feeling like everything that goes bad around him.
But with him, more than other heroes, Spider-Man is the mask more so. That's the big difference.
With Spider-Man, much like Thor in Endgame, the humor is clearly a defense mechanism for all of the internal angst that he feels at all times. So
yes. And we do get to see Peter as Spider-Man cutting up with the local cops in this trailer, awesome. Which is probably my favorite part of the trailer, to be honest with you. And I loved so much of this trailer. I loved that part. I loved the special effects on the Mysterio stuff.
My favorite part is probably the Nick Fury stuff, just because that was such a great dynamic in the Ultimate books. And you told me what the actual line was, and I've already forgotten it, because my head has already replaced the line with
"Bitch, you've been to space."
No, it is "Motherfucker, you've been to space." I'm going to be sitting there in the theater. It's going to say "bitch," and my brain is just going to make the substitution for me. So I'm only ever going to hear "Motherfucker, you've been to space."
Bitch. Anyway, yeah. So
Go ahead.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
You're not gonna do what?
You're not going to let this trailer discussion get out of here without being anti-youth. You have a hateful agenda against anyone in our beloved MCU under the age of 18.
So do you.
No, I don't.
For Spider-Man characters, you have driven this bus. You have
in the MCU. Name another other than the Iron Man 3 kid. Name somebody I've complained about in the MCU.
Kid?
Yeah.
Kid Star-Lord.
No, I didn't.
Well, it's not just the MCU, but in general, you're lenient on the MCU kids. You just don't like other kids. You don't like other kids. You don't like Haley Joel Osment. You don't like.
When have I ever said I don't like Haley Joel Osment?
You said it many times.
When?
What, you don't like that? You don't like that Jake Lloyd character.
No one likes Jake Lloyd. Don't put that on me.
You don't like that. You don't like that. That what was her name? That was real popular when we were in college. That was a kid. Did all those movies. Dakota Fanning.
Yes, with fucking War of the Worlds. That's right.
Yeah, you hate War of the Worlds because you complain about her. She's fine in that movie.
She does nothing but scream the entire time.
There's aliens invading. What do you want her to do? Deliver monologues?
No, I want her to do something interesting in that boring ass movie.
That movie's not bad.
That movie sucks.
Well, you know what else sucks? The kids in Spider-Man Homecoming.
No.
There's pieces of garbage.
They're not pieces of garbage.
You see all this? Listen. You see all this garbage in the ring, Nick Duke? Mm-hmm. This garbage represents not you, but those kids. That's what it represents.
We have long thought if we could work out a deal to exchange the death of the Spider-Man Homecoming supporting cast for the death of the Idiots 3 from Ant-Man.
Let's talk about this.
That we would sign that deal. So
if there's anyone from Disney or Marvel, if there's anybody listening to this podcast from Disney or Marvel, we are willing to put this deal in writing.
Yes.
We talked about this today, Nick. We are both willing to sign this contract that I will give up as Nick calls them, the Idiots 3 from Ant-Man, the terrific characters that comprise his supporting cast, if Nick is willing to substitute or to give up Ned, MJ, and Flash Thompson from his beloved Spider-Man Homecoming.
I am.
So and here's the thing, I believe that this would result in a Spider-Man movie that I would love and not just kind of like.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because they would replace them with other high school characters, and you have a fundamental issue with high school Spider-Man.
I am fundamentally not interested in high school Peter Parker. I would remind you, what were my thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse?
You liked it a great deal.
I did. And I liked it more than I liked Homecoming by a wide margin. And that's not to say I didn't like Homecoming. I did like Homecoming, but the
you have told me before that you think that Homecoming is one of the worst things to ever happen to the human race.
I've never
that the
said,
filmmakers and cast deserve to be dragged into the streets, shot, and their houses be burned down. You have said that verbatim.
That does sound like something I'd say.
Yes.
But I would remind you, sir, that there are multiple Spider-Man movies I would rank below Homecoming, including but not limited to The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3. I say not limited to because I would probably put Spider-Man 1 behind it, but I don't know for sure because we're going to revisit that here in a couple months. We are going to
revisit that here right down the road.
And we'll find out, Nick. We'll find out if my 15-year hatred of Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn holds up compared to my recent hatred of Ned and the bastard
I am
friends
predicting it now. Put me on the record, folks. It's predicting that Greg is going to come all the way around on Willem Dafoe these many years later. 17 years later, he is finally going to give that movie the due it deserves.
Now! Oh, Lord. Hey, is Bernard in that movie?
Yes.
Well, there's that at least.
Just standing there. Because remember, he just literally stands there for the first two movies, and then he gets out of nowhere an emotional monologue in Spider-Man 3.
Yes, because Harry's sitting there and he's all like, Bernard, my only true friend. Mm-hmm. Bernard. Anyway, what a name.
I pulled the dagger from your father's groin, or whatever it is he says.
Groin!
Because that's where he gets stabbed at the end of that movie, remember? The glider goes right through his groin area.
Good Lord, man.
We're going to watch it again, and you're going to notice he gets a glider to the groin. That's what he dies from.
That's no way to die.
I know, it sucks.
Anyway, yeah, so, but no, Far From Home looks awesome. I hope against hope that they limit the high school stuff. I have a very limited appetite for Ned and his appetites, and also,
don't you fat shame around
I'm
here.
not going to fat shame. I'm a fat guy myself. I like food, Nick. Mm-hmm. And, not doing things. That's another thing that I like. But no, MJ, I'm still not sold on her. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if she improves in this one. Maybe she will. And
yeah, that's my thing is, I think it's likely she'll improve because I don't think it's very possible to be much worse than she was in Homecoming. Like, that's the one aspect of that movie I can't, as much as I'll defend it against you and other people who try to knock it, that's the one aspect I'm like, that's fair. That's a fair criticism. But
she does a lot of, like, Jim from The Office looks.
Yes. And so I have a hard time imagining she'll be worse. So, like, but will she be better enough to make people turn around on this version of the character? Even I am doubtful on that.
Well, one thing we remain doubtful on, both of us, is the eventual release of the film New Mutants. Because a news story has come out this week and been updated that the movie New Mutants has been postponed yet again. Mm-hmm. Disney has moved the 20th Century Fox produced New Mutants. Is it 20th Century Fox or 21st Century Fox? I've seen it.
I do not know the answer to this question.
A million different ways. Well, I've seen it only two different ways, but those are the two. Anyway, it's been moved from August 7th, 2019 to April 3rd, 2020, which would put it out, I believe, on WrestleMania weekend.
Ooh, interesting. No, WrestleMania is the
following week.
Yes,
right?
I think. I don't know, actually. I don't fucking know.
Well, it's a good thing I've got a Google machine right here so that people can listen to me. Google.
Notably, this would be a full 2 years after its original scheduled release date.
Yeah, so is this... actually, that is WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania is April 5th next year.
Oh, God. I mean, how can we not find some time out of our busy Tampa schedule next year to go see New Mutants?
Because it probably won't even be out. So...
Now, it's not unprecedented. If you recall, we actually went and saw... Captain America: The Winter Soldier during one of our WrestleMania trips, and I would argue,
30.
And I would argue that was a part of our WrestleMania weekend that I do not regret. Going to the movies instead of going to a wrestling show. I do not think I would feel the same way about New Mutants, but maybe I'm wrong. But let me tell you, more importantly about New Mutants, and this is the bone I got to pick. Now, you tell me.
Pick a bone!
You tell me, Greg, if this doesn't make sense to you.
Okay.
Let's say there's a list of movies that you're asked to look at the list of movies and pick which of those movies is going to gross the least at the box office during the 2019 summer. Right?
I know where you're going with this.
Right?
Yeah. Yep, I know.
If a movie doesn't come out during the 2019 summer, but was on that list and grosses $0 as a result of not coming out during the summer of 2019, would that not be the lowest grosser of the movies on that list?
Yeah, that's a fair question. Nick. I would suggest that you would be correct in that.
Yeah,
however,
I would suggest so as well.
However, I would also suggest that if you were to have picked a movie that you think is going to be a hit that was scheduled to come out during this time frame, and that movie is then moved after you've submitted your list to a later time, that perhaps you should be allowed to adjust your list accordingly. But it's not my list, is it?
No.
And these are the prices I pay, the wages I pay to make my.
Sadly, I had that as a wild card as well on mine. The Artemis Fowl. So.
Yes, Artemis Fowl. I guess you could say that this is a foul turn of events for us.
Indeed it is.
Anyway, here's a movie I'd be interested in seeing, Old Mutants. So it's just a bunch of old guys.
So it's Logan? Logan comes back?
Yeah, it's Logan, but with less Logan. And no X-23. It's just old Professor Charles Xavier, along with his old friend Magneto, who we find out is still alive. And they're rolling around motherfucking each other.
Cursing everyone. Fuck you, Logan.
They're in a nursing home, and they're just arguing about pudding, and Magneto tries to use his powers, but gets tired and goes to sleep in the middle of it.
Cable! Fuck you, Cable.
Cable, you look just like your father. Well, I've turned into Sean Connery again.
Why is Magneto played by Sean Connery? And more importantly, why hasn't he been played by Sean Connery before?
Oh, Charles, I'm waiting to be impressed.
Sean Connery for Moira McTaggart at this point. That's what I want.
Hang on. I got it. Power! Incredible power!
Do we actually think this movie's coming out in April of 2020?
No.
Because allegedly it still needs reshoots to make it coherent from what we understand. So they would have to pull back this cast 2 years later to do reshoots for this movie that Disney probably doesn't give two shits about.
Oh, I don't even give two shits about it at this point. I mean, I wanted to see it when it was being
the trailer
developed.
looked cool.
Looked interesting. But, when it comes out, I'll watch it, and we'll see how it is. But until then, next topic.
It means we should probably delay our scheduled New Mutants month that we had set for August.
Yes. Good idea. Now, Hulu is getting some Marvel TV shows. A lot of folks thought that all the Marvel TV properties would be moved onto the Disney Plus service, but not so, because they just announced a live-action Ghost Rider TV show for Hulu and a live-action Hellstrom.
I don't know what the fuck a Hellstrom is.
I have no idea who or what Hellstrom is either. Let's find out in this article that I just opened. Announced on Marvel.com, the two series will coexist with one another, with Marvel ending Spirits of Vengeance, end quote. Hey, that reminds me, Nick, let me take a little moment here. Did you notice last night how many times Michael Cole said quote during the broadcast?
No.
He'd be like talking, it would be like pointless stuff. Like, he'd be like, somebody's coming to the ring, and I'm trying to think of an example here. It's Baron Corbin. It's like, here comes Baron Corbin, who claims to be the, quote, favorite son of Cincinnati, end quote. And then he would do it later on, and it would be like, here comes Seth Rollins, who says he's going to, quote, burn it down, end quote. I don't like it, Nick, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, Marvel's Ghost Rider centers on Robbie Reyes, the quintessential antihero, who lives on the Texas-Mexico border, consumed by hellfire and supernaturally bound to a demon. When he unleashes the Rider, Robbie brings vengeance for the innocents that he encounters, but struggles controlling the power he wields. Sounds pretty interesting. All right. Ingrid Escajeda will reportedly be the series' showrunner, and Ingrid is known for her work on Sneaky Pete and Empire. Now, you might be asking yourself, what does this mean about Hellstrom? Well, good question. Hulu's Hellstrom is set to feature Damon and Anna Hellstrom, quote, the son and daughter of a mysterious and powerful serial killer, end quote. The siblings have a complicated dynamic as they track down the worst of humanity, each with their attitude and skills. The siblings are based on Damon and Satana Hellstrom, who in comics are the progeny of the biblical Lucifer and a human woman named Victoria Wingate.
So wait, okay.
Damon was created by Roy Thomas and Gary Friedrich in the pages of Ghost Rider, while Satana came later in Vampire Tales by Thomas and John Romita Jr.
Now, I don't know why I'm asking you this, because you're typically less knowledgeable on Marvel than I am, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So in the comics, he's the progeny of Lucifer, who is the devil.
Right.
But then, haven't we always been led to believe that Mephisto is the Marvel interpretation of the devil?
Sure.
So there's the devil and the devil?
Why not?
All right, fair enough. Just say yes and we'll move on.
When I was a youngling, reading DC Comics, there were these characters named what were they? Satanus, Lord Satanus, and who was the other one? Something like Satanus, or Satanus and Blaze,
or
Lord Satanus and Blaze. Satanus and Blaze, and they were sort of competing for the throne of the top devil in the DC universe. So maybe this is something like that. I don't know.
Something like that. Yep.
Something like that.
Man, we are 40 minutes in and we've done 2 rundown stories.
We're not making a very quick time, but that's all right. That's fine. We got to make up for lost time. These Hulu shows, Nick, you going to watch them?
No.
That's fair.
I don't have Hulu.
You can find ways to get Hulu.
Yeah, but I mean, like, let's be honest. At this point, there are so many things. Like, it's not like it was 5 years ago, even, where our options for comic book content were fairly limited. There are so many comic book related things that exist now that I want to watch that I haven't watched. Like, I would like to watch Krypton. I would like to watch Cloak and Dagger, which I liked. I want to see Runaways at some point. I want to see, I've heard Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got better. I would like to finally watch Agent Carter 6 years later. Like, there are so many things that I would be more likely to sit down and watch. I haven't watched Season 2 of The Punisher. Season 2 of Jessica Jones is coming soon. I got to watch that.
You need Season 3.
Season 3 of Jessica Jones. Like, there's so many things that I'm more likely to watch than I am Ghost Rider and Hellstrom. Legion. Gifted. All these things.
Well, speaking of things you might be likely to watch, writer-directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller have signed a 5-year overall deal with Sony Pictures Television to develop live-action and animated shows, including, quote, I'm doing that Michael Cole thing again, a suite of TV series, end quote, based on Sony's Spider-Verse movies. First reported by Deadline, the reported $100 million-plus deal will also include non-Spider-Verse shows as well, including original projects by Lord and Miller. It says here that Lord and Miller come there after years at 20th Century Fox. They were, of course, famously dismissed from Solo, a Star Wars story. Excited about more Spider-Verse, Nick? I am.
Absolutely, yes.
What kind of live-action Spider properties would you like to see from Sony Pictures?
Live action in a television format?
Yeah.
Daily Bugle Show.
Daily Bugle Show. There you go.
I feel like that's my go-to answer for every comic book live action property. Daily Planet Show. Daily Bugle Show.
No, I've got it. You get the guy that ran the show Rome, and you get him to do a J. Jonah Jameson origin story just called Jameson.
Did you ever watch that movie? Did you ever watch that movie Whiplash?
I did not watch the movie Whiplash, but I'm aware that J.K. Simmons is in it.
It's really just him yelling at people, it seems like, based on I watched a scene from it the other day, and now I want to watch it, just because it's easy for me to just make him J. Jonah Jameson in my head. Like, J. Jonah Jameson runs a jazz band, and he yells at people until they cry. That sounds awesome.
That's what I'm saying about J. Jonah Jameson. Is so difficult. Is J.K. Simmons is just an impossible man to follow in that role.
I mean,
He's so
it's like that Lion King thing is coming out later this summer, which we've disagreed on the merits of. But like the one thing you can give it credit for is when they were casting it, they didn't even try. When they got to Mufasa, they were like, "Well, James Earl Jones is still alive. Why would we let anyone else do it besides him?" So they just let him do it. Like, why doesn't the producer of Spider-Man just be like, as long as J.K. Simmons is alive, he's J. Jonah Jameson in perpetuity?
And clearly, if it's an age problem, I mean, we've seen the mastering of this. Yeah, we've seen the mastery of the de-aging effect. So why not? Right? And besides, I always viewed J. Jonah Jameson as being an older guy anyway.
That's what I was about to say. He's not it's not like he's 85, you know? You throw a flat top on him and some makeup, he's gonna be fine.
Well, also fine is writer-director James Gunn, who one could argue is living the high life right now, working for both the major comic book companies, movie studios. Of course, he's already written the script for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and they will begin filming that next year. And in addition to that, he is writing and directing the Suicide Squad for DC. And he's been really reaching into the collection of C and D list characters from DC to fill them up in this movie, which is definitely going to lead to that feeling of everyone's on the table for death, which I think you want for a Suicide Squad team. And in this case, the actor David Ostmachian from The Dark Knight and Ant-Man has been cast as Polka Dot Man for Warner Brothers' The Suicide Squad. Originally created by Sheldon Moldoff and Charles Paris for 1962's Detective Comics number 300, the Polka Dot Man is a Gotham City villain whose principal attributes are the ability to use the dots on his costumes as weapons or to reach through and obtain other weapons. Now, Dasmalkian I forgot, he was also on the Flash TV show as Abracadabra. I actually forgot that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And apparently played on Gotham as somebody named Dwight Pollard. With that being said, another funny addition to the cast here. This should be good, Nick. This should be a good one.
I have much more faith in this guy in the hands of James Gunn than I have in the hands of what's that fucker's name? Peyton Reed.
Peyton Royce?
Well, now wait just a minute. If anybody's going to be in the hands of Peyton Royce, it's going to be literally everyone on the planet but me.
Mm. Well, we have kind of a weird situation pop up in the world of actual comic books. You know those physical things we used to read?
We used to.
We got a kind of a weird story going on there because a little bit of an artist exchange of sorts, unofficially. Between Marvel and DC in separate occasions. Because, first of all, we have the artist David Marquez, who many may know from his work on various Avengers properties. He's worked on every Marvel book under the sun, basically. Civil War 2, Ultimate Spider-Man, Fantastic Four Season 1, Invincible Iron Man, All New X-Men, Defenders. Marquez has swapped over to DC Comics with an exclusive contract. He will be working on the Batman Superman book with Joshua Williamson, among other projects. Meanwhile, Marvel had just had a big coup this week because they have officially signed to an exclusive deal Patrick Gleason, one of the co-masterminds behind the excellent Superman Rebirth run in DC, longtime artist and writer who is known for his work on Damian in particular, the character, also his work on Superman, his work on Batman and Robin, his work on, a lot of Green Lantern Corps. He had, of course, a great run on Green Lantern Corps. And now he's going to be a Marvel exclusive. And I'm trying to see if they've announced what he'll be working on here for Marvel. He'll be joining Spider-Man, actually, starting with a short story in Amazing Spider-Man number 25. So, anyway, what are your thoughts on these two moves here, Nick?
Interesting moves. I like both guys, obviously, but I have to admit that Gleason coming over to do Spider-Man excites me a bit more than whatever Marquez is going to do at DC. So we'll see how it goes. And by we'll see, I mean other people will see and tell us about it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, that's the end of the rundown. And of course, you know what that means, folks. It's time.
It's Tuesday. You know what that means.
It's time for a segment known the world over as reading and watching. Nick, what you been reading? In your anger, you killed her. Hanmibuki. Yes. No, well, that's a good point, though. We didn't read anything, but we did watch stuff, and we watched stuff to let our thoughts being, of course, the thoughts of the longest-running
weekly episodic comic book podcast in all of Place to Be Nation. You get 2 for the price of 1 this week, folks. You got one of those in the front half of the show, and now you get another one in the back half. What more can you ask for?
You can't ask for any more than that.
We're running through all the gimmicks. We're checking every box on the greatest hits list. What more do you want from us at this point?
We have 2 weeks of watching to catch up on our CW versus DC shows. So we're gonna double them up one by one. How about that?
Sure.
So first of all, in Arrow, we had an episode titled Spartan, which involved, which actually featured a guest appearance from legendary Geek World actor Ernie Hudson, who of course played Winston on Ghostbusters.
Winston's Edmund, that's right.
The legendary Ernie Hudson made a guest appearance as the stepfather of John Diggle.
What was that stepfather's name, Greg?
Well, Nick, that stepfather's name was General Roy Stewart. Now, there were some revelations in this episode about the actions of Diggle's birth father, Mr. Diggle, that were
Did Mr. Diggle have a baked potato face?
A baked potato face. and these allegations about Mr. Diggle might lead his birth son, John, to lose a little bit of his rosy outlook on his birth father, and realize that the man that raised him, his stepfather, maybe was his real father all along. And maybe, Nick, he might one day seek a legal name change to adopt the name of this man that he now realizes made him the man that he is today, General Stewart. What would that make John Diggle's name if he were to get that name change?
Oh, I don't know, Greg. I don't know. What would it make it?
I think it would make his name John Diggle Stewart.
Interesting. And he has a military background.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? Yes, he does. And he has a close friendship with the Green Arrow. Just putting it out there, folks. We got one more season to go. The show's not over yet. We got a season left. Things can happen. And anyway,
things sure can, Greg. We have a whole season left, and don't you forget it.
That's right. And the rest of the episode involved Oliver confronting Emiko and finally telling her that Dante had been the one that killed her mother. He thinks that this is going to lead to this big revelation about their relationship with one another, that it'll make her realize the error of her ways, that she's been manipulated by the Ninth Circle all these years. Of course, Oliver is not armed with the same information the viewers have, that she is actually the leader of the Ninth Circle. So, much to his surprise and chagrin, rather than change anything about the nature of Emiko's dark side tendencies, it just leads her to, spoiler alert, brutally murder Dante with a bunch of arrows and telling him to rot in hell. So Emiko is as bad as ever. She is unquestionably the leader of the Ninth Circle. Oliver is heartbroken and tortured. Diggle has a new renowned respect for his amazing stepfather, who, by the way, Ernie Hudson was outstanding in this episode. And we were talking, I don't understand how he doesn't get more work. He's a really good actor.
He is, yeah, and he was really good in this episode. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
And of course, in the flash forwards, we learn more about the Deathstroke gang in the future, and we find out that is unfortunately the fate of JJ, John Diggle Jr., Connor Hawk's adoptive brother, the birth son of Diggle and what's her name? Diggle's wife, Lila, yes. And he's gone into a life of crime as a result of feeling neglected from his parents and their constant being busy with government stuff. So we found a little bit there. But this episode was primarily about Diggle. It was a Diggle-focused episode with the Dante stuff on the side, and I thought it was excellent. Thought it was really, really good. Your thoughts?
Yeah, good episode.
Yep. That leads us to last week's episode, which was Confessions. And this is a very interesting episode because it is non-linear. It is a series of police interrogations. And I think my iPhone just picked up me saying Siri. But it is a series of police interrogations regarding a crime that was committed as the team was trying to foil a subway station terrorist attack at the hands of the Ninth Circle, and they are all suspects in the brutal murder. I know I said brutal murder earlier, but another brutal murder of these two security guards that were there. And the team proceeds to give different stories of how this all played out, and it's kind of like the Batman, the animated series episode POV in that regard, non-linear, kind of going back to tell the story. And Roy Harper is actually called in to help the team out on this mission. And over the course of it, we think a couple of different times that we know who the killer might be. But it turns out, at the end, Oliver says the killer was Emiko. But, spoiler alert! Once again, another spoiler alert right here. So stop listening. All right. Now, if you're still here, turns out that the killer actually is Roy Harper. And he loses it and kills these two security guards during the midst of this big battle with the Ninth Circle, and beats them to death. Not just kills them, but beats them to death with a stick. And so Oliver makes the decision, along with the rest of the team, that they need to cover this up. Now, this is a very surprising, in some ways, action for the team to take, because this is one of those point of no return things. Like, once they try to cover this up, that's a pretty firm decision to make. But Oliver says they have to do it for his friend because he suspects what ends up being the case. And what ends up being the case is that Roy Harper has died during his quest with Thea and Nyssa to rid the world of Lazarus pits. He has died and been resurrected in a Lazarus pit. And as a result of his previous exposure to Mirakuru, he now has apparently less control than he thought over his blood rages that come as a result of being resurrected from the Lazarus pit. It always leaves an effect on somebody. So now Roy is in a situation where they don't really know what to do with him because they don't want him to go to jail. They want to look out for him, but he can't really be trusted in the field because of what he might do. So again, I thought this was another really strong episode, Nick. What were your thoughts?
I liked it. I was very relieved they had the twist near the end that Dinah was in on the thing the entire time, because, man, I was ready to tell her to fuck right off.
Me too.
During most of the episode.
I was actually preparing my rant for this episode.
I was like, good God. Because, I mean, like,
what a bitch.
She's been working with him the entire time, and now all of a sudden she wants to get all high and mighty, but luckily they explained it, so I can't complain too much. But no, good episode.
And now Emiko has gotten the jump on them and exposed, apparently, their activities because she filmed the whole thing and dropped a building on them.
And dropped a building on them. Let's not forget that.
That's a pretty harsh action.
And there he was. And there he was, Greg. The building got dropped on him. He's buried under some rubble, much like a certain individual on the show.
Yes, that's true. A flashback to season 1. Mm-hmm. The end of season 1, I should say. Well, let's move on to. You all right over there, Paul?
I'm fine.
The Legends of Tomorrow, which is one of our other shows that we watch. We had an episode 2 weeks ago titled "The Eggplant, the Witch, and the Wardrobe." And
hey, real quick, we have some breaking news actually related to our beloved CW shows. Batwoman has been picked up to series at the CW.
Excellent. Something needs to take the place of Arrow. Mm-hmm. Oh, my boy. Sad James Barnett. Anyway, The Eggplant, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is an episode. I'm trying to remember what this was about. Ah, yes, Ava, her soul has been sent to purgatory as she's been abducted by the demon Neron. And so she and Sarah have to solve their relationship issues and find a way out. And Neron gets abducted and captured as well by the rest of the team and tempts them with various things. He tempts Nora with reviving her father. He tempts Constantine, but right when they're about to capture him, Ray rushes in thinking that Nora's in trouble, and instead Ray, as we find out at the end of this episode, gets possessed by the demon Neron. This was an interesting episode because I thought there were elements of this that were really good. I thought the stuff with Nate and Ray and the continued teasing of the Zari and Nate relationship, which, like you, I am all in on.
Yes.
That was all very good. However, I mentioned several episodes ago, I am 100% done with the Ava and Sarah on again, off again thing. I hope this is the end of it. I like them both. I like their characters, but I'm not interested anymore in their troubled relationship. So,
well, luckily it seems like they're back on again pretty firmly. So,
right. But I'm saying if they break up again, it needs to be for good because I'm tired of it. And then the stuff with Neron was good too. So this was a kind of an up and down episode for me, but I'll say it was solid.
Yes, I would mostly agree. I thought the purgatory thing was actually really cool. It was an interesting take for the episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And it had Gary in it. So
fucking Gary.
Well, we'll get to Gary.
Yeah, you're about to get an ass full of Gary.
Ooh, I kind of like the way that sounds. The next episode was titled Egg MacGuffin. And this was sort of about Sarah trying to get Nate and Zari hooked up by sending them on a mission together to 1933. Very Indiana Jones inspired, involving adventure and a quest for a found item, a mysterious item that was found by this explorer. And unfortunately, Nazis show up, and they're actual Nazis, and that's never good for anyone. So Ava and Sarah join, and there's a big thing where they have to go after this egg. And the subplot of this episode, which I thought was much more interesting, was than last week's, was Ray trying to find a way to purge Neron from him, and he's trying to. And Neron, meanwhile, wants Ray to murder someone that he loves. First Nora, and then Nate. And so that leads to some hijinks there. And it ultimately leads to a heel turn by Gary, the nefarious Gary, who shows up and helps Neron, who, as Neron has shown him all the times that the Legends treated him like doit. And now Gary is there to help Neron as his right-hand man. And he's betrayed the Legends and help Neron take full control of Ray's body. And so now Ray is possessed by Neron. And
let us not forget that Gary's his motivation for turning heel was to get his nipple.
To get his nipple back. Which was somewhat funny.
No.
But Gary's got to go, man. Gary and Nora.
Finally.
I didn't even mention Nora.
Nora
was in this
come around.
Too. Nora was in this.
Nora was in it, but they minimized her for what felt like the first time in weeks. I think she was in like 2 scenes.
Although the scenes that she was involved in were involving our boy Mick Rory.
Yes.
And what could have been a great scene, boy, she did her best to ruin that scene with her chanting.
Yes, she's not very good. Her and Gary just need to hook up, like was teased earlier in the season.
Yes, I agree.
And just go off to
sunset
somewhere the fuck else would be my preference.
And the stuff I thought with Charlie as she's trying to pretend to be the author was good. So yeah, it was a good episode overall. I actually liked it better than the previous episode. What about you?
I did as well. The Zari-Nate sexual tension is palpable.
Yes, the Greg and Zari sexual tension is also palpable.
Mm-hmm.
Not Greg Phillips, you understand, a different Greg.
Greg Rossino, of course.
Of course. It's the beard. Now, let's move over to The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
As we pick up where we've been with an episode titled Snowpack, as Barry and Iris have a knockdown, drag-out argument about what to do with the character of Nora.
Yeah,
Barry,
and let's
episode,
just pause right here. Right here.
Let me explain what happened.
Okay.
Barry had left their daughter in the future without telling the rest of the team and come back as a result of finding out that their daughter has been working this whole time behind their backs with the man that killed Barry's parents. So, he's upset. And he has a large argument with Iris here that plays out and is really the high point of this episode, I thought.
Yes, it is the high point of this episode without question, and it serves as another reminder that the conventional Hollywood mentality of television actors can't be in movies is fucking stupid as hell.
Yep.
Because Grant Gustin's performance in that scene is as emotional and engaging and impressive as anything that has ever been put on screen in any DCEU film.
Agreed. It was outstanding. It was, I remember we talked about this after you watched the episode, and you said the same thing to me. You said, I want to go to Warner Brothers and kick them in the dick if they ever suggest that, if anybody ever suggests that the TV universe actors are not capable of playing these characters on screen, particularly Grant Gustin, because I agree with you, Nick. He was sensational in this episode. That scene, as you put it, was as moving emotionally as anything we've seen on the big screen. It was subtle. It was the subtleties of how he was playing this. It was not over the top.
Nope.
It didn't come off like he was reading from a script.
Nope.
Like he was reciting lines.
Nope.
It came off like a father and a husband who's been pushed to the brink.
And like Barry, typically the television version of Barry, when he's upset with someone, it's that quiet, like disappointed kind of argument. Right. And here he was angry, legitimately as angry as we've ever seen him on the show. And also
complete with biting sarcasm as well.
Yes, and as we just also discussed offline, he was 100% justified in his anger. And this show has gone a long way towards making me buy into the Barry and Iris dynamic, which is something I didn't buy in
the same.
in the early seasons. However, it was one of those scenes that you can tell as you're watching it, the writers want you to be genuinely torn between these two points of view, and instead, all I could think was, Iris, shut the fuck up. Because she, like, when he says something to the effect of, she's working with Thawne, and then he goes, but you don't care, do you? And she doesn't respond, I was like...
And then she finally goes, no.
Yeah, and after that I was like, you have nothing left to say in this argument.
Yep. That it had no bearing on her thoughts on the situation at all.
Nope.
It was a surprisingly cold Iris in that scene. And yeah, I agree with you, Nick. I felt the same way. I was like, man, he is 100% right here. And it was to the point in that episode. And I like Iris. I've liked Iris from the beginning, and I like their relationship a lot. But I was to the point where I was like, you know what? Leave Iris. Caitlin's right there. You know, like, it was never questioned. You.
And we'll get in this with the when we talk about the next episode of Flash that was this past week. But Iris is setting herself up, I'm afraid, to be the Sting to Thawne's Ric Flair. It seems.
Oh yes. But nonetheless, despite that, this was a great episode where they go and they grab Nora. where they try to, but Nora has been at this point so angered and so corrupted by her experiences that she now learns Thawne's reverse speed force, which has unforeseen effects on her. And meanwhile, the basis of the episode is actually about Caitlin, as she encounters her dad, who comes back as Icicle and kidnaps Caitlin and her mom, and we get a big showdown between Killer Frost and Icicle, which I actually thought was pretty cool for their TV budget. And cool, get it anyway. And it ends up she gets her dad back. He resists the Icicle transformation, and then he dies at the hands of Cicada. Now we know at this point I don't have anything for Cicada as a character. I don't care about Cicada. I thought this was still a nice episode. Again, like we talked about Diggle, for a character in Caitlin that really doesn't get a whole lot of attention most of the time. So I thought it was a strong episode. The Barry and Nora stuff was amazing. And the stuff with Thawne. We didn't even talk about Thawne in this episode. He was great, as he always is, because Thawne is doing a great job on here of making even the audience not know whether he's being sincere or not.
Bullshit.
Because I think both of us have thought from the beginning that it's bullshit. But
it's bullshit. I am standing by that.
Do you not think that he cares for Nora?
No.
Fair enough. That's fair. That's probably the case. But damn, he's doing a good job of selling it. And anyway, so I thought this was a pretty strong episode. What did you think, Nick?
It was a great episode. It was a fantastic episode, and led to a pretty solid follow-up as well.
That's right. And the follow-up is the most recent episode, Gone Rogue, where we pick up right where the last episode left off, as Nora has returned to the present day with the effects of the negative Speed Force. And she decides she needs to steal a weapon that can help in the fight against Cicada. And to do this, rather than go to her dad, who she no longer trusts, she goes and recruits a team of rogues, like an idiot. She recruits the Bug-Eyed Bandit, my beloved Emily Kinney, who played Beth on The Walking Dead, the excellent character Beth on The Walking Dead. She recruits Ragdoll, who we talked about earlier in this season as one of the best episodes of this season, actually, and the Weather Witch. And, of course, in vintage Nora fashion, it backfires on her. And her pops and the rest of the team have to show up and save the day. There's a great scene in here with just give me an episode of nothing but Joe and Barry scenes with each other. I could watch those until the end of time, because we get another good one in this episode where Joe reminds Barry kind of what it means to be a father, and that he's going to make mistakes along the way and things of that nature. Really, really good stuff there. Nora sees the error of her ways. Barry forgives her. Everything seems to be fine, except that Cicada's plan is moving in motion. And we get a hallucinogenic return of our boy, Chris Klein, at the end, just staring and smiling. What were your thoughts on this episode, Nick?
Liked it a lot. Unfortunately for Chris Klein, Chris Klein is back. That's not good, but good follow-up.
Yeah.
On the previous week's episode, if I do think that the Nora-Barry conflict was resolved a bit too quickly and cleanly for my taste.
A little quickly.
But you can live with
Have
that.
I mentioned on the show my Sherlock theory?
No, please tell me.
I think Sherlock is Thawne.
Ooh.
I have suspected that since the beginning of the season. I mentioned it, I believe, to my mom, and she dismissed it as a silly statement. But truly, I've grown to like Sherlock over the course of the season, but there are little hints. The hint that I think really planted it in my brain was there was an episode where Thawne and Sherlock both say to Nora say about Nora at one point, "Clever girl." And while that could have to do with some timey-wimey weirdness, there's also coincidences of Sherlock is the one that reveals Nora's secret to the team. Sherlock is the one who said he feels responsible for Nora in some way. Sherlock is the one that's constantly almost coaching and manipulating Nora throughout the course of this season in many ways. I could be way off. I could be way off on this, I admit. But I think that Sherlock is the contemporary Eobard Thawne. And because he told Barry when they last encountered in the crossover, I think last season, whenever they fought the Nazis, he told Barry that when the next time he saw him, there was no telling what face he'd be wearing. So anyway, that's my theory. And I could be way off. This could be silly, but I'm just throwing it out there. That's you got your Tommy, and I've got my Sherlock as Eobard Thawne.
I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. So yeah, and we should go ahead and mention now, we're not going to be covering Supergirl the rest of the season because Greg is so impossibly behind. So we will talk Supergirl at some point whenever he gets a chance to catch up.
That's right. The CW app has removed the episode that I needed to watch.
Well, quite frankly, don't fall 6 episodes behind, and wouldn't be a concern.
Well, I could say the same to you about your comic books, couldn't I?
You could say the same to me.
I could
about comic books.
Well, only because I could only because you used to give me so much shit about it, Conrad. You used to give me so much shit about it. I
would suggest, Greg, and I know you'll take umbrage to this fact. I would suggest that the state of our free time is two different businesses, quite frankly.
You don't know what's in my business? Actually, you do. That's a lie. You do.
Most of the time I do. But most of the time. Sometimes you... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to say
that. Mistakes were made, Nick. Mistakes were made. But that's in the past now.
Hey, before we move on, some more late-breaking news. This in the world of comics. Marvel is dropping a series of teasers for some sort of promotion they're going to be running in August. And the teasers are simply creative teams with no books announced. But here are the creative teams thus far that have been teased. Joe Hill and Mike Allred, Al Ewing and George Perez, J. Michael Straczynski and Ed McGuinness, Brad Meltzer and Julian Totino Tedesco.
Oh, Brad Meltzer on a Marvel book?
Mark Waid and John Cassidy, and a Walt Simonson solo, both writing and drawing of some sort.
Got to be a Thor thing, right?
These got to be something. There's 6 different ones at this point. Again, I'm not going to read. Well, a Walt Simonson Thor book might get me back in a comic shop. I'll put it that way. But we'll see.
Which is interesting because you're not reading the current Jason Aaron Thor book.
I am. I'm reading it in my own time.
Yeah. You don't have time to read it. You got to fit in more games of that Masters 1933 course or whatever the hell.
1934. For the record, you don't know what it's like to play the original Bobby Jones layout. No respect for one of the great American traditions, the Masters.
Well, you know what's also one of the great American traditions, Nick?
What's that?
The Wrestling Minute.
Oh, my.
We've got the Wrestling Minute, and boy, we got a lot of stuff on our plates for Wrestling Minute,
God
man.
almighty.
We got so much going on right now. I don't even know where to begin, where to end.
Well, we had a shake-up, but none of it matters.
None of it mattered, no.
And because now we have the wild card rule where 4 members of Raw can go to SmackDown.
Not necessarily 4.
Yeah, up to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from 0 to 4 members of Raw and or SmackDown may
be invited
to appear on the other show, but not necessarily every week and not necessarily the same 4 people.
And if anybody shows up over the 4, they will either be fired, suspended,
or fined.
Mm-hmm. Or potentially they'll just add a 5th onto the list if they scare Vince McMahon enough.
This is a stupid thing that WWE is doing in response to low ratings because their response is always, just put more guys on the show as opposed to make the shows creatively better. But, again, as you and I discussed earlier, SmackDown's been good the better part of a year and no one seems to care as it relates to the ratings.
No one cares. No one gives a toot. And it's just, I don't know. I don't have the answers to higher ratings, but I do know the answers are not just abandoning your internal logic.
Yeah, and the answer is not writing and plotting the shows the same way you've been writing and plotting the shows since the PG era started in 2006?
2008, I think, but yeah.
Anyway, it's been over a decade of the show following essentially the same exact format.
Yes, and it's a shame because people blame the talents. People say so-and-so isn't a draw. Becky Lynch isn't a draw.
Which is stupid.
Roman Reigns isn't a draw.
From a sheer talent perspective, this may be the most loaded roster they've ever had.
I think it is. I certainly loaded as
it's right there with that 0102 roster, because you got to think about that 0102 roster. In that 2 years, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, Hulk Hogan, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. That right there is 7 of the biggest names in the history of the business.
Yes,
your
rookie class was John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Batista.
Yes,
you've got Shawn Michaels, you've got Ric Flair, you've got Chris Jericho,
Edge, the Dudley Boys, Christian,
the
Hardys,
a true crazy man's roster. Rey Mysterio. Coming back, Eddie Guerrero,
maybe that roster a little better. Let me rephrase. This is the second best roster the company's ever had.
Yeah. So, but the roster is excellent. And to that point, on this week's Monday Night Raw, 2 great matches. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns had a way better match than they had at WrestleMania. And then the main event with Daniel Bryan and Kofi was good. Not as good as WrestleMania, but a good match. But again, these great matches are happening every week, and they don't matter in the grand scheme of things. They matter in terms of being great matches, obviously, but it's not a reflection on the talent, in my opinion, that they're in this situation. And the company, unfortunately, will not accept that, because the reason for the ratings are injuries, or the fans aren't buying the attraction,
or there are sporting events taking place the same night as Monday Night Raw,
which there have always been,
which that happens every single week. God,
so
it's either Monday Night Football or a baseball game or a damn playoff basketball game. It's been that way forever.
And I don't really care about the ratings except when it affects the on-air product. Right. And that's what we're seeing, is these crazy, ridiculous lack of internal logic things.
We know it'll never be this way again, but there used to be a time when it didn't matter what you put on up against WWE or wrestling programming. There was a time in our lives when wrestling programming was legitimately the hottest fucking thing on television.
Yes. And the thing is, it'll be like that again. I know that, but even if it's not, it can still be a consistent and compelling and quality show. Right. And we've seen it with SmackDown at various times over the years. But it's crazy. The last 2 weeks have given us 2 of the worst segments you'll see with involving the Revival, who they are attempting to bury by having their best tag. Maybe you can make a legitimate argument for the Usos as the greatest tag team of all time, certainly one of them, and they are stuck telling these horrible physical gag jokes at the Revival's expense. So instead of just burying the Revival, it's burying the Usos and, by proxy, the entire tag team division of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely ill thought out. Meanwhile, AEW continues to prepare for its first shows, and we got on a huge announcement for New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion, which is Kazuchika Okada will defend his IWGP Championship against Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, and that's going to be an interesting encounter, Nick.
The Painmaker. I hadn't heard that yet.
Yep,
it's going to be fun.
Yep. Well, with all that said, I can't think of anything else to add to the Wrestle Minute. There's a lot going on in this business right now, but the most important thing, Jim Ross has a new podcast out, Grilling JR.
Yes.
Would highly recommend anyone to go out and listen to that.
The highest of recommendations, yes. And speaking of Jim Ross, Greg, as we do here on the Hard-Traveling Fanboys, we're going to close out this week's episode with another musical contribution from WWE Hall of Fame Jim Ross. You may notice that we missed last week's episode. That's because we brought you, JR had to miss out because we brought you so much in-game content that we didn't want to, make JR feel like he was just being forced into the show, that he didn't have an organic place. And so, speaking of in-game, we got to get together, Greg, with a lot of friends that we were close with back during the old college days. And it kind of got the old memory bank flowing, and we reminisced a little bit about a movie that we all used to enjoy together. And so I thought, what better way to bring back Jim Ross to the show and his musical contributions than by doing a little musical number from that film. So, and I'm going to be honest with you, JR, this is probably one of your more challenging assignments to date. I'm going to rate this about a 9.2 on the difficulty scale. But here to perform a little number from Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny is Jim Ross and a couple of a couple of mystery guests that I'm not even sure who he's going to bust out. So let's all sit back and let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, so what you're saying is let it play out and see where it goes, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, thank you once again for having me in the studio. I want to invite everybody to listen to my new show with Conrad Thompson. Connie, my boy, rosy cheeks. You can find it on Westwood One. It is Grilling JR, and it's going to be Connie, and he's going to be asking me some questions about my life and times. It's going to be a fun time. Now, I got me a couple friends here, and, well, folks, we haven't rehearsed this. We haven't tried it out. Just bear with us. It may or may not work. But it's a little song called Beelzebub. I am complete. Fuck. Yes, you are fucked. Shit out of luck. Now I'm complete, and my cock you will suck. This world will be mine, and you're first in line. You brought me the pick, and now you shall both die. Wait, you motherfucker. Listen, we challenge you to a rock-off, we do. Give us one chance to rock your socks off. Oh, fuck. The Demon Code prevents me from declining a rock-off challenge. What are your terms? What's the catch? Well, it's simple as this. Listen, Wahoo once told me. Wahoo pulled me aside and he said, Rick. I said, what? And he said, Rick, if we win, you must take your sorry ass back to hell. And I said, oh. And he said, and also, you will have to pay our rent. And what if I win? Well, then you can take Cage's ass back to hell. That's where Dory is. Senior. What? Trust me, it's the only way. What? I said it's the only way. What the fuck are you talking about? To be your little bitch. He will. Fine. Let the rock-off begin. I'm the devil. I love metal. Check this riff. It is fucking tasty. I'm the devil. I can do what I want. Whatever I've got, I'm going to flaunt. There has never been a rock-off that I've ever lost. Well, I can't wait to take Cage back to hell. I'm going to fill him with my hot demon gel. I'll make him squeal like my Scarlet Pimpernel, or like Booger Red. No! Come on, Cage, bring the thunder. There's just no way that we can win. That was a masterpiece. Listen to me. He rocks too damn hard because he ain't a mortal man. God damn it, Cage. He's got no teeth. He's gonna make you his sex slave. You're gonna gargle mayonnaise. Unless, there's one chance we got here. We got Arn, I got Tully, I got Barry Windham, we got Barry's asshole, unless we bust a massive monster mammoth jam. Dude, we've been through so much shit. Yeah, I deactivated Lisa with my dick. Now it's time to blow this fucker down. Now come on, Cage. It's time to blow the doors down. I hear you, Jables. Now it's time to blow the doors down. Light up the stage, because it's time for a showdown. We'll bend you over, then we'll take your ass to Browntown. Now we gotta blow this fucker down. He's gonna rape me if we do not blow the doors down. Come on, Cage, because it's time to blow the doors down. Oh, we'll pile drive it. It's time for a smackdown. I lost my voice there for a minute, fella. Hey, Antichrist, Beelzebub. Yeah, you're no Wahoo. We know your weakness, our rocket sauce. We rocked the Casbah and blew your mind like Harley once slapped Butch Reed in the face, the natural. He didn't do anything about it. We will defeat you for all mankind. That's it, Foley. Jump off a Cage. We'll hold the scepter, we hold the key. You're the devil, we are the D. We are the D. We are the D. You seen the D? Yeah, in the hotel room. Anyway, basically what I'm getting at is we're the D. You guys are the lamest fucking people I've ever met in my life. Come on, Cage, you are coming with me. Taste my lightning, you motherfucker. No. Ow. Fuck. My fucking horn. Oh, no. You are hurting me. From whence you came, you shall remain until you are complete again. Oh! Fuck you, Cage, and fuck you, J-Bulls. I will get you, Tenacious D.